Fort Tshwane district regarding an SAPS health risk management contract. Arun Singh has more.
During a meeting on December 24th last year, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu tasked police top brass to investigate a 360 million rand SAPS health risk management contract awarded to controversial tenderpreneur and alleged underworld figure Vusimusi Kat Matlala. Testifying at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry in Pretoria, National Police Commissioner Fani Masimola confirmed that during the meeting, reports of general non-performance were raised and they were tasked to probe the contract.
Mr. Mchunu instructed that we look into the contract. During that process, we discovered corruption, fraud, and a failure of delivery of service resulting in the cancellation of the contract.
Masimola conceded this was positive action on the part of Mchunu. Arun Singh, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Meanwhile, in KwaZulu-Natal, police have praised the political killings task team after convicted murderer Sabelo Pewa was sentenced to 2 life terms and 20 years behind bars. Pewa was convicted of shooting dead Amos Ngobo in Hillcrest in Durban 2017 and former Richmond municipal manager Busiso Sithole in March 2017. The Pietermaritzburg High Court, sitting in Durban, sentenced Pewa today. Nhlanhla Mabaso has more.
Former Richmond municipal manager Busiso Sithole was ambushed, shot and killed while he was probing corruption relating to tenders in the municipality. His murder case was taken by the political killings task team. Through ballistic analysis, the team established the parallel case of Amos Ngobo. Spokesperson at Lenda Mate.
Well done to the SAPS Political Killings Task Team for cracking this case and ensuring a lengthy conviction for the hitman. Through this case, we were able to link and solve other cases, such as the murder of Amos Ngobo. The number of life sentences secured by the task team is now more than 30 life sentences secured for several hitmen and hit orderers.
Pewa was also sentenced to 20 years for the attempted murder of a police officer, unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Durban.
The Merafo Municipality in the west of Johannesburg says its failure to settle a 1.4 billion rand debt is owed to non-payment by residents and businesses. Frustrated residents in the Fochville area took to the streets today over dry taps, resulting in police firing rubber bullets to disperse crowds. The municipality says most of the debt stems from unpaid water bills, which hinders its ability to pay bulk supplier Rand Water. Tandolu Ngobo has more.
Municipal spokesperson Taibo Malocha says residents and businesses together owe the municipality 6 billion rand.
The municipality loan debt book is about 6 billion, meaning businesses and residents of this municipality owe the municipality 6 billion.
He says of the 6 billion, half of it is owed by mines, which he says have declared a dispute with the municipality over the amount. Malocha says the municipality collects between 5 and 6 million rand monthly from ratepayers for water and is expected to pay 39 million rand to Rand Water. He says engagements are continuing to find a lasting solution to the crisis. Tandul Ngobo, Eyewitness News.
In the Western Cape, operations have resumed at Cavendish Square Mall after firefighters extinguished a fire that broke out this afternoon. The mall was evacuated as a precautionary measure after a blaze broke out on the 3rd floor of the parking garage. Fire Services spokesperson Edward Bosch says it's unclear at this stage what caused the fire.
Just before 12 p.m., the City of Cape Town Fire and Rescue Services received the call for a fire on one of the parking levels at Cavendish Mall in Claremont. Upon arrival, crews discovered smoke issuing from the roof of the mall. Law enforcement were requested to assist with evacuating users from the building.
In the U.S., the presidency says urgent reforms are needed to ensure the United Nations is able to enforce international law and human rights standards fairly across the board. This is part of President Cyril Ramaphosa's speech at the 80th United Nations General Assembly taking place in New York. Ramaphosa is expected to engage global leaders on international issues, including geopolitical tensions, strengthening global economic governance, and punting the G20 agenda. The meeting in New York comes amid concerns about the UN's ability to respond to shifts in the global landscape, including criticism there is a lack of effective enforcement mechanisms for General Assembly decisions. Presidency spokesperson Vincent Magwenya says the president's calls for reforms are important to address the challenges faced by the family of nations.
And it's not for one country to decide, but essentially we need a framework framework that is a lot more inclusive with respect to decision making. We need a framework that puts at its center the respect and adherence to international law. And we need a framework that in its inclusivity considers the development aspirations of the entire globe.
Staying in America, U.S. President Donald Trump will make his big comeback to the UN General Assembly podium today, where he intends to denounce globalist institutions and meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as patience with Russia wears thin. Trump will address the United Nations for the first time since he returned to office. It will also be his second time seeing Zelensky since the U.S. leader invited Russian President Vladimir Putin on August 15th to Alaska. Russia has not only kept up its barrage of attacks on Ukraine in the past month, but has increasingly raised fears in Western Europe with drone or airstrikes in NATO members Poland, Estonia and Romania. Gold's trading at $3,784.63 an ounce. The rand's at 17.31 to the dollar, at 23.40 to the pound, at 20.42 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.57 a barrel.
Traffic sluggish in Protea Glen on the N12 westbound approaching the R558, and traffic lights still not working in Linksfield at Linksfield Road and the N3.
In your sport, the Springbok squad for their Rugby Championship test against Argentina is announced. Matt Shearat makes a Wales coaching return, and Orlando Pirates return to Betway Premiership action against Suwelele.
Look at your weather. It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng today with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Temperatures are peaking at highs between 30 and 32 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. It's come to light that Police Minister Senzo Mchunu was the one who raised the alarm over a 360 million rand police tender awarded to alleged underworld figure Vusmusi Ket Matlala.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 3 o'clock. Thanks very much for joining us here on 702. Lovely having you here. My name is Thabo Shola Mashao. I'm in for John Perlman. We're together till 6. It's going to be a great time together. We've got quite a lot to discuss. The team is here. Everyone in full swing, making sure that everything else is on the rails. Quite a lot to discuss. And speaking of which, the show was put together by Rifue and Jono Kabazela. He will be here in no time. They will both be here to give us this, that, and the other. But a couple of things that are coming on the show. But first, let me tell you that traffic will be given to you by Garabo Charlie, and he will make sure that on the roads you are safe and you know which routes to take, which to avoid, and which traffic lights are working and the ones that are not, just to make sure that you have an added advantage as you drive into traffic. Garabo Malapile presses many buttons. She's the technical producer and making sure that you and I technically connect seamlessly. And of course you, the most important ingredient of the show. You could have been anywhere, you could be anywhere, but you always choose to be with us. And it means the world to us. I don't take that lightly at all. And so please don't go away. Stay here on 702. You'd remember that the story of Falkville is still under fire. We will want to know what is the very latest there, where Mayor promised to respond to protesting residents as they have given him some time frames. We'll give you the demands of the residents of Falkville in a short while with Thando Ngobo. Underway, Masemola, Commissioner Masemola, the National Police Commissioner, is on the stand, and he is really dissecting interesting issues. Vusmusi Ket Matlala is on the cards, and so is that controversial tender in the police that connects all of them. But most importantly, the relationship between Sibiya and Masemola is also under the spotlight. We'll get to hear how it is said that the minister tried to interfere to make sure that the two get along, but Masemola sees that as some element of interference and things that he had always been speaking about when he referred to interference. Are you running a small business, and how is it going? It must be a bit difficult in this economy. And how are you keeping? There's a very interesting study that came out from News 24 and Lula, I think. They were looking at what really small businesses are thinking in 2025. Surprisingly, many of you who are running small businesses are optimistic. You are really looking forward to the future and think that it is not all doom and gloom, but there are some serious obstacles. In this survey, some small businesses are pointing at the hindrances that are posed by banks not playing their role in assisting small businesses to become fluid, to become somehow cash friendly, and the banks are not assisting according to the study. I want to know from you, it could be that you are in the trucking business, it could be that you have a franchise or any other business that you have. Small businesses, by the way, are the backbone of any economy, especially such as ours. So if you are in small business space, I would like you to stick around and to share your thoughts, your views with us. Are you as optimistic as the study says you are? And what are things that are stopping you from thriving, from getting your business from one level to the other? I would love to hear from you a little bit about that. And the Panyaza Lesotho's government faces 988 cases of pothole lawsuits. 988. What are some of the key potholes that have not been fixed in and around your area? Please share that with us. And by the way, the number has not changed at all. 011-883-0702. That's where you can connect with us. And I would love to hear from you. If you would like to speak to us directly about any other issue that I would have raised, feel free to do so on 011-883-0702. Alternatively, send a voice note or a text message to 072-702-1702. The show has officially begun, Karabo.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
13 after 3. Refuwe Matsua is with us in the studio, and she is going to share this, that, and the other with us. She's the big chef on the show, and she's putting the content together. Our boss, Refuwe. Hey, welcome, Refuwe. You good?
Good afternoon, Prodigal Son, and to the rest of the 702 family.
I don't know where that comes from.
I don't think we have enough time.
I don't know where that comes from.
On the thing.
You know,
let's focus on
it's
why
like you and I have issues that people don't know about. I mean, you're giving those vibes
The 702 family wants her show, not this thing.
Where am I talking? Okay, when is John coming back? Can we focus on that? Refuwe, welcome. Anyway, Karabo, you good?
I'm good, and you, Chief?
That's how a colleague should sound. Thank you, man, for being professional and showing up the way a colleague has to show up when they're speaking on the microphone, having chosen to work on radio.
Okay.
Welcome.
You're
good, man.
100%.
Yeah. I'm not going to speak about other people who are here. Anyway, on a serious note, though, Refuwe, I'm sitting in front of you right now across the desk, and I'm fidgeting. You can see that I can't sit still, right? And there were some people who were watching us on YouTube, Karabo, and they were saying, but tell Tabo to sit still. He's making us all dizzy. And I do not know how to. I can't sit still and just, and be all prim and proper. Yes. I fidget a lot and I move around and I shake a lot and whatever that is. So the question is, are there things that you do unknowingly that annoys a lot of people out there? Things that they really get under the skin of other people. You do them, and to you, it's just a mannerism. It's almost second nature to you. Refuwe, let's start with you.
So, Tabo, I have two. So, I talk to my lot. I speak to myself a lot out loud. Because let's say there's just a lot happening in my head and I sort of need to digest things. So I'll just start having a board meeting. And people's like, oh, are you talking to me? I'm like, no, I did not say approach the bench. I speak to myself a lot.
Especially around your desk, eh?
Around my desk.
The colleagues are there and you'll be talking. You're like,
even
what
Uncle
did
John
you say?
Would say, are you saying something? I'm like, no, I'm just thinking out loud. And there's one that I purposefully
I'm glad you brought that up because I always look at you and I'm like, what are you talking about?
And and you always have this confused.
Yeah,
look
I'm
on your
like,
face.
what are you talking
and I said,
about?
Thabo, if I wanted to talk to you, I'd say
Okay.
Thabo.
Okay. I'm
But
glad
I
you
don't.
brought it up. Yeah.
Yes, the second one, I do it on purpose.
Yeah,
I
the
used
second
to,
annoying
yes.
thing.
The second annoying thing, I do it on purpose. I do it to my brother when he doesn't want to share food or whatever nice things he has.
Yeah.
I'm about to make the sound. I want to apologize
Okay.
to everyone that's about to listen. I'm really sorry, but are you guys ready for the sound?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
The whole, and then I start coughing. You know how a cat coughs? In front of
I
me
don't have
until he
cats.
gives me something. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I want some food."
And that sound, and some
It's quite
people,
disgusting.
and some people do it at work, and they think it's normal and it's just okay, and they'd be going like,
Yes.
But isn't that a condition? They can't help it. Maybe it is itchy throat or what?
no, it can't be an itchy throat.
But I feel like you could go to the bathroom or excuse yourself. You can't just be doing it over the comms.
And you, Garabo?
Yo.
Okay, I can't do this in the office. But when I'm at home, I'm comfortable and I don't really think about it. Phew, but I break wind a lot. I fart a lot.
That explains quite a
No,
lot.
not in the office.
I'm thinking,
No,
what's
not in the
going
office.
on?
Obviously, in the office, I'm not as comfortable. I'm not in my own space, so But then when I'm at home, I feel like it's my house, and sometimes I'm not conscious of it. It just comes out, because I'm free. And then you should see the madam's look on her face. She just hates it. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't help it. And it will be like those series. Must I make the sound of it? I'm joking.
But I feel like he does break wind at the office. If you walk behind Karabo going up the
There'd
stairs.
be a smell in the studio, and I'd be
it's
thinking,
Karabo. Now we
what's
know.
going on?
It's not a ventilation issue.
Yeah,
it's a
I would be
Karabo
thinking,
issue.
what's that smell?
It's him. Never
Now
walk
we have our
behind
answer.
him.
And every time I blame my son, sometimes I'm like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. And then he'll be like, no, it's not me. And he'll throw a tantrum. But yeah, it's a bad habit that I really can't stop. It's nature calling. So
Yeah. Well, but how is it that at work you are able to stop it, but at home you can't?
I think it's just a psyche kind of thing, it's a mind thing. And okay, I'm at work. Obviously, it's not your personal space. So you have to respect other people's space. But yeah, I'm just relaxed.
Can I just end with this?
Yeah.
Never walk behind Karabo when he's going up the stairs.
Oh my
That's my ending. Thank you.
goodness me. Well, we'd love to hear from you. Things that you do that other people find irritating and annoying. Please give us a shout and send a voice note or a text message to 072 702 1702. We'd love to hear from you. Alternatively, on our socials at Radio 702 on Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X, and various other social media handles. And mine is at @I'mFreeTSM. I'd love to hear from you about that. Things that you do that irritate other people. I'm doing it right now. If you're watching it on YouTube, I'm bouncing a little bit, going back and forth, and other people find it interesting. It's radio, not TV, right? Yeah, 19 after 3. Karabo, the roads, how do they look?
Well, at this stage in Midrand, if you're heading towards Sandton, there's an accident scene. This is on the N1 southbound, approaching Allendale. This is already causing a 30-minute delay all the way from Samran. So please avoid this route if you're leaving Centurion heading towards Joburg. Rather use Old Pretoria Road or even the R55 as alternative. If you're heading to Ekurhuleni, rather use the R21 through Kempton Park. Protea Glen, traffic remains sluggish on the N12 westbound, approaching the R558, and traffic lights not working Edenvale, Modderfontein Road and Van Riebeck. And there's also faulty traffic lights in the Alex area at London Road and the N3. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Would you, General Masemula, tell the minister I am not going to obey that?
Yeah, no, I will tell him that I won't do it.
You hear that? I do think that some of us are being too simplistic by arguing that, you should have just said no and resigned. That's not really how life works. How many of you have actually ended up implementing things because your bosses were putting pressure on you? So it's very easy for us to sit outside and say, but why didn't he just resign?
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Mzansi, your dreams could take flight when you play Powerball and Powerball Plus this Tuesday for a massive 152 million rand in total estimated jackpots. Play Powerball for an estimated 83 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 69 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or dial *120 *7529 hash for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Naked people always get dessert. Because naked people spend less money on insurance premiums, they've got more money for Mulva pudding. Or cheesecake. Or both. With Naked, you can cover your car, home, and stuff in seconds. And because it's all online, it also costs less. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and start treating yourself like naked people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Life has its own rhythm, but muscle and joint pain may upset the beat.
Noflex Gel.
Trust Noflex Gel's triple action formula to target muscle pain, reduce inflammation, and help numb the affected area.
Noflex Gel.
So, get your beat back and reclaim the rhythm of life.
Noflex Gel.
Beat the pain with Noflex Gel and higher strength Noflex Gel Fort. For more information, speak to your healthcare professional.
In fitness, as in finance, endurance is key. If you're 55 and older, you can get an interest rate of up to 10.62% with a Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. Now feel the earn. Invest in under 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. See money differently. Nedbank. We're licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. For more info, visit nedbank.co.za.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
23 minutes after 3 o'clock, you're on 702 Tabo in for John, and welcome back. You would know that the residents of Kokosi, which is a township on the west end of Johannesburg, they were marching to the N12 highway this day, and wherein they were protesting against the lack of water in the area. The situation is apparently so bad that side that a number of them would have to go fetch water from the local river. The N12 highway is where Best met the angry residents, and Best is the mayor that side to receive their memorandum of demands. The situation of water is very, very dire, especially in the city of Johannesburg, and communities are up in arms. They are really angry because simply water is survival. Tando Ngobo joins us right now, and Tando is EWN reporter, our colleague who was covering the story. Tando, thanks for joining us. Welcome to 702.
Thanks, Tabo.
The situation, is it that bad that local residents were forced to fetch water from the river, Tando?
The situation, the sad, Tabo, has been absolutely devastating for the residents. Some have become sick due to lack of proper sanitation because there's been no water for weeks on end. We understand that they've had no water for a month, going into the 5th week this week. And yes, a resident told EWN that they've had to use 25 liters of water to fetch water from the local river because there aren't enough water trucks. And the water trucks that have recently only started to come into the community aren't enough. And within an hour, the water's finished and hundreds of residents are still left without any water.
What did the mayor say to the residents, and were there any time frames to fix the problem?
Yes. So the residents gave the executive mayor, Nozuko Best, 25 hours to resolve the issue. They said that if their water isn't running in their taps latest tomorrow afternoon, they are back on the streets shutting down schools once more, businesses, public transport. The mayor did receive the memorandum of demands. She did sign it, and she said she promised that they would try to meet the time frame by tomorrow.
Tando, thanks very much. I really appreciate it. Tando Ngobo, EWN reporter. 25 minutes after 3 o'clock.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
And just for the record, Kokosi is a township in the West Rand, and it's alongside the N12 as you are driving towards Potchefstroom on the far end. I don't know if you may recall where the N12 is, but as you drive in towards Potchefstroom, that highway, there is a township that side called Kokosi. The residents there were up in arms, really complaining about lack of water, and they're not the first to do that. I mean, right here, just a stone throw away, falling over my words there. A number of residents were complaining that they are not getting water. We saw the mayor intervening, and as a result, they have, I think, given themselves about 3 weeks to sort that situation out. This is truly a serious problem. I'd love to hear from you. It could be that we have not covered your area as yet, and you hear about other areas and you're thinking, where I live, we still have the same problem and no one wants to speak about it. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Send your voice note to 072 702 1702. We would love to hear from you. 27 minutes after 3.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Hey, Tabo. What a great show. For me, one thing that comes naturally that gets me into trouble sometimes is singing. My wife is always complaining that I'm always singing even early in the morning. And how I get in trouble is sometimes we've argued or we've quarreled about something, and then somehow I happen to just sing a song that's along the line of whatever happened. And then she always gives me a look to say, oh, so you're singing about it. And so I don't do it deliberately. It just happens that I sing a song that has to do with what happened, a lot more often than I would want to, but then, singing is one of the things.
Relate with Refugee. I often do that she does myself, like on the regular, and without even realizing. And what is weird is that now somebody will look at me and say, why are you doing that? I'm like, what am I doing? Kind of thing, as if it's normal for everybody else. So that's my story.
And what is it that you're doing? Are you referring to that controversial sound? Yeah, I don't know why people do that. Some people say it's sinus, some would say an itchy throat, some would say an irritated ear. I wonder why people do it. And if you've just joined us and you're thinking, what are they talking about? Earlier we were asking about things that you do that irritate others. And to you, you do it unknowingly. And I was just saying that for me, I am always physically jittery. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'd see me moving, bouncing around on the chair from left to right. And some people are saying, hey, sit still. You're making us dizzy. Just sit still. And I battled to do that. So we wanted to find out from you. What is it that you often do? And you perhaps don't even give it a lot of thought. It just comes naturally. It's second nature to you. Yet it irritates so many other individuals. Let us know on 0727021702. But on a serious note, though, the matter of water in and around Johannesburg is very, very serious. We are speaking to Thando Ngobo, EWN reporter, about how the residents of Kokosi were protesting about lack of water. And in a short while, a little bit just before 4, we'll touch on how the Gauteng government faces 988 cases and 199 million rand wasted on pothole lawsuits. This is truly troubling. And there were about 145 cases, mostly for low-end potholes. Are you still experiencing potholes where you live? I mean, I live in the West Rand, and that is a serious problem, that many of those potholes would go unfixed for days and days and days on end, as if no one sees them and no one cares. You'd really need to know where they are and try to avoid them, so much that those of us who travel the Hendrik Potgieter route every single day, we now know which ones to avoid and how to maneuver around them. Let us know on 0727021702. 3:30 on the nose. Mikey Molapo will give us the very latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon. Welcome, Mikey.
Thanks, Tabo. Good afternoon. We begin in the capital, where the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has heard that President Cyril Ramaphosa agreed with suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu's position that the Political Killings Task Team be disbanded. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola made the allegation at the inquiry sitting in Pretoria today, saying Mchunu told him the president didn't object to shutting down the unit. The attempt to dissolve the task team sits at the center of allegations of political interference in police work, with claims that Mchunu's move was intended to protect certain criminal syndicates. Masemola says Mchunu claimed Ramaphosa was aware of his bid to dissolve the task team.
At some point during the meeting, the minister stated that he did not understand why we were so adamant that the PKTT must not be disbanded. Then he said that the president is in agreement that the PTT be disbanded.
Masemola says he was surprised to hear that the president supported the dissolution of the unit.
I was quite taken aback by his revelation, since it was the president who, knowing about the effectiveness of the PKTT, had requested the PKTT to deploy to assist with the Pothole cases, murder investigations. Moreover, the president, in our last briefing on the PKTT, was satisfied with the performance.
Meanwhile, in the National Assembly, the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee investigating police corruption is considering making additions to its list of witnesses, including MPs who were mentioned by KwaZulu-Natal Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. During his testimony before the Madlanga Commission last week, Mkhwanazi told the inquiry that National Coloured Congress MP Fadil Adams, as well as DA MP Diane Kohler Bernard, had mishandled classified police information. Kohler Bernard is also an alternate member of the Ad Hoc Committee. Committee Chairperson Soviet Lekhanyane told today's meeting that the matter must be considered by the committee.
And one of the members who has been mentioned is an alternate member of this Ad Hoc Committee, Honorable Kohler Bernard. The members of this ad hoc committee must discuss this matter and come with a proposal or a decision on how we deal with matters like this, where members of this ad hoc committee are being mentioned.
KNysna Mayor Thando Matika has accused Western Cape Local Government MEC Anton Bredell of politicking and interference. Today, the National Council of Provinces is in KNysna to consider a decision by the provincial government to dissolve the council and place the town under administration. Bredell has told the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance that KNysna is facing complete service delivery collapse, while its residents are being exposed to serious health risks from regular sewage spills. But Matika says the problems of ailing infrastructure and poor future planning are not unique to the Garden Route town. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
The Select Committee has heard from provincial government that KNysna's business and civil society are holding the town together. The municipality is currently governed by a coalition of the ANC, PA, EFF and PBI as one of the province's 16 hung councils after the 2021 elections. MEC Anton Bredell says the town has a leadership and management problem.
The conduct of council, you can describe it as a circus. People shouting at one another, not talking and debating the issues and taking decisions.
But Mayor Thando Matika says Bredell has excluded officials from oversight visits to the town.
He's playing politics. Every decision we take in KNysna, he's taking us to court or he's challenging. He doesn't play an oversight and assistant role.
Bredell has denied the move to dissolve the council, which is due to take effect this weekend, is a political ploy, saying he's acting in the interests of the residents. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And in the US, comedian Jimmy Kimmel will return to his late-night talk show today after he was suspended for making jokes relating to the death of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. Disney, which owns the US broadcast network that airs Jimmy Kimmel Live, said yesterday that it suspended the show because it felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. The comic's abrupt suspension came after threats by the federal TV regulator to revoke ABC's broadcast license, sparking nationwide debates over free speech. US President Donald Trump had welcomed Kimmel's suspension and suggested that some TV networks should have their licenses taken away for negative coverage of the president. A look at your weather. A partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Temperatures are peaking at highs between 30 and 32 degrees.
Midrand accident scene N1 South near Allendale causing more than a 30-minute delay all the way from Samrand. Avoid that route at all costs. Rather use the R55 or Old Pretoria Road or even the R21 through Kempton Park if you're heading towards Ekurhuleni. Constantia Kloof stationary bus on the N1 southbound just after Bayers No Deer causing about a 20-minute delay. Brakpan bumper-to-bumper traffic N17 westbound between Carnival City and Rondebolt.
The top story in Eyewitness News. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has heard that President Cyril Ramaphosa agreed with the suspended police minister Senzo Mchunu position that the political killings task team be disbanded.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
Helen is bigger than the DA. In the same way that Cyril Ramaphosa was bigger than the ANC at some point. I don't care what color the person is. I really don't. I don't even care how old the person is. If they can do the job, let them do the job. But I think we must also be sober about what the job actually entails. I don't think anybody is going to be able to walk into those council chambers and begin to bark orders. I think that the most successful mayor in Joburg will be the one that is able to manage the dynamics of coalition politics.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Joburg, mark your calendars. The Music and Lifestyle Expo 2025 is back on 14 and 15 of November at the Sandton Convention Center. Experience a world where music, trade, fashion, food, and lifestyle collide. All under one roof. From engaging masterclasses and a vibrant exhibition floor featuring fine Tandi Somazwai, Ringo, Major League DJs, and more. This is one expo you can't miss. Tickets available now at ticketpro.co.za. Proudly endorsed by the G20 Summit.
Dis-Chem has the best deals just for you, with everything you need on your healthy living journey. Get 20% off the A. Vogel Molkesan range for a healthy digestive system. Buy any 3 Slowmac products and get the cheapest free for relief from muscle cramps, fatigue, and stress. And get 2+1 cheapest free on any Turbovite supplements to boost physical and mental performance. Offers valid until 19 October at Dis-Chem, your healthy living destination. Better health starts here.
You've reached in his Renault Duster en route to Dullstrom. This journey is taking to try a sport far more boring than its name might suggest. Fly. Fishing. He'll be in his Renault Duster, which he bought with 40,000 Rand trade-in assistance.
Leave it all behind in the new Renault Duster with 40,000 Rand trade-in assistance. Offer exclusive to Renault Financial Services. Product of APSA. T's and C's apply.
Let's count backward. 5. Insurance. 4. Pineapple. 3. Insurance. 2. Pineapple. 1. You're under. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
You can't help yourself. You just you just let loose, guy. Yo, when I eat Khohlela, guys, people are just don't see Khohlela. Oh no, man! Like, go to the bathroom, man. Karabo, no, and you're a rock star, man.
Hey, Tabo. I mean, this water situation is just absolutely ridiculous. And it's not just residents. I mean, the businesses are suffering too. I'm consulting at a business that has to spend on average 20 to 30,000 Rand a week just to get water to the premises. This is in Glenesk, the south side of Joburg. So, I mean, it's just beyond. No business can sustain paying that amount of money just to ensure that operations can continue. This is Tanya from Joburg South. So yeah, our water situation is ridiculous.
Brother, that famous sound, I used to be guilty of at some point in my life, and apparently I would even do it in my sleep. and it turns out that it was just sinuses, and I had to go to the doctor, and they prescribed some medication, and I can tell you now, ever since then, I no longer do it as frequent, and when I do it, I know that it's change of season. It's time for me to go get that medication. And I'm no longer suffering from that sound, but it's involuntarily, that sound. You don't even hear yourself doing it. I used to be guilty of it, and I no longer do it anymore. Anyway, thanks. Great show. Murado here in Kempton Park.
Moraro, thanks for that. Tanya, very interesting issue there. You said you're in Glenesk, the south of Joburg. Is there any other similar problem that side? Please let us know, because if we don't speak about these things, people boil up and then they end up now taking to the streets. Let us know where the problems are right now. And if you've just joined us, welcome. You're on 702. I'm Thabo Shalamashao in for John Perlman, and we're just talking about a couple of things, including the community of Kokosi complaining about lack of water, so much that they were forced to go and fetch water from the river. And we asked you, do you have a similar problem? I know in Sandton that used to be persistent. I don't know if it has stopped at all or if it is still going on. Let us know. And also, people talking about different sounds that we asked earlier on. What is it that you do that other people may find very irritating? So much that you annoy them and you don't even know that you're doing it. Mine, right now, sitting in the studio, if you're watching on YouTube, you'd realize that my body is moving around involuntarily. I am shaking, moving up and down, and not sitting still at all. And some people have said, tell Thabo to sit still. Well, you can do that yourself on 072 702 1702, or just check us out on YouTube. 18 minutes to 4.
EWN Sport.
With Tolagele Mganga. Tolagele, good afternoon. What is the latest in the world of sports?
Well, Thabo, Rassie Erasmus has opted for consistency in his Springbok selection for their penultimate Rugby Championship clash against Argentina on Saturday. There are only 2 personnel changes in the starting 15, which will be led by Siya Kolisi in his 97th test. Evan Etzebeth and Damian Willemse take over from the injured Louis Diaga and Aphelele Fassi at lock and fullback, respectively. As a result, Damien Dialende returns at inside centre alongside Kanan Moody. Andre Esterhuizen will start on the bench, and he's discussed the challenge of facing Los Pumas.
It's always going to be a physical battle. They've come a very long way in the way they play. They've got a lot of flair. They take a lot of their opportunities, especially with loose ball in the air, playing a lot of turnovers, and they've got special players that can make special things happen. So, I think it's going to be a tight game, especially a hard battle up front. But like I said, whoever takes care of the ball the most, obviously win the aerial battle, and the loose balls around that will come out on top.
Matt Sherratt has quit his job at Cardiff to return to the Wales setup as an assistant coach to Steve Tandy. Sherratt had worked as interim coach earlier this year and will now assist a man who took over from him. Sherratt will join Tandy's backroom staff as attack coach on a full-time basis. Switching over to the Betway Premiership, where one game is scheduled tonight as Orlando Pirates host Siwelele. Slalelo Rasaboja is one of 3 players that will miss that game for the Buccaneers as he continues to recover from injury, and he's discussed how Pirates have performed during the early stages of the campaign.
I think the guys have been doing fairly well, even though in the start the results have not been coming in our way. But I think the performances have been well, So I think it's just work in progress for us as a team, and taking it one game at a time. And hopefully we get to the level where we want to be.
Ousmane Dembele has won the Ballon d'Or as a reward for his starring role in PSG's maiden UEFA Champions League triumph last season, while Spain's Aitana Bonmatía claimed the women's prize for a 3rd year in a row. Lamine Yamal won the Copa Trophy for a 2nd successive year, which is handed to the best under-21 player. And Team South Africa have arrived back home after competing at the World Athletics Championships, where only the 4x400 meter relay team won a medal. Wade van Niekerk was part of that outfit that ended South Africa's 8-year medal drought, as he also won his first since 2017.
This time around, I was exposed to the team element of what the sports has been this last few years. I've really been trying to fight for fitness to get into this team and represent with them. We've been wanting this opportunity for a very long time now.
Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Take A Lot. Happy delivered. Karabo, how do the roads look?
Well, at this stage, in the Midrand area, there's an accident scene, N1 South, near Allendale, causing more than a 30-minute delay. This is from Samran Road, so avoid that route at all costs. Rather use the R55 or Pretoria Road. If you're heading towards Ekurhuleni, rather use the R21 via Kempton Park. Constantia Kloof, a stationary bus, N1 South, just after Bayers No Deer. This is causing about a 20-minute delay, while in Brakpan, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N17. The N17, this is in both directions between Carnival City and Rondebolt due to ongoing roadworks. Edenville, heading towards Bedfordview, also traffic pressure. R24 westbound from Edenville Road to the Giluli's interchange, and in Protea Glen, there's heavy delays. This is on the N12 westbound between the R554 and the R558. I understand we have voice notes regarding issues in the Midrand, Constantia, Kloof areas, the ones that I've mentioned. Karabo?
Message for Karabo. There's a serious problem on the N1 South from Olifantsfontein right down to Bekloo. Cars are going at a very, very slow pace.
Just a heads up, N1 South. Just after Malebongwe Drive, there's a bus that's on the fast lane broken down, covering about 2 lanes and causing a backlog of traffic. Thank you.
Thanks for those heads up. Keep them coming. WhatsApp us at 072-702-1702. We are also on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Traffic is trafficking. The robots aren't AI, but more like an eye roll, and service delivery isn't delivering. But luckily, Take a Lot is. Shop anything from beauty and sport to tech and toys at everyday low prices and get it delivered to your door faster than you can get home. Even when you take the back roads, a delivery so quick, the speed thrills. Halala with no limits, just the open road of happiness before you. Take a Lot. Happy delivered.
EWN.
13 minutes to 4 o'clock. Welcome back, Tabo, in for John. Really appreciate your voice notes. Keep them coming on 072-702-1702. The water issue, very serious, and we are getting some reaction on that. Feel free to let us know where exactly. It's very important to do that, and because at times we speak to the authorities and we do not necessarily have that information at the tip of our fingers. So it's very important if you let us know for future reference where the problems are, so that they don't hide behind our ignorance as far as where the problem may be. 12 to 4, Tolagele is in the studio with us. I hope you're good, Tolagele.
I am. You, Tabo?
Chilled, thanks very much. One of the things that I was accused of doing was just moving around, fidgeting and being just irritating and annoying, moving my feet, tapping my knee, this, that, and the other. And some people on YouTube said, that's irritating. So we were asking, things that you do that are irritating, that other people find very annoying, but to you, it's almost second nature. It could be biting your nails. It could be blinking 125 blinks per 4 seconds or anything of the sort. Do you have anything of that like?
Mine is the one that I'm doing now, where when I'm listening and I'm sitting like this with like my hand on my face, leaning on my hand.
Yeah.
A lot of people think like I'm zoning out.
Yeah.
If anything, it's me listening so intently that I don't allow myself like the distractions to happen around me. So because I want to be in the moment.
Yeah.
But for them, they always do the, are you listening?
Are you?
I'm like, yes, I am listening. I'm listening so intently that I've cut everything else off.
Yeah. So when you were not here, we were saying that there's this very famous sound that people do.
Oh, as someone who suffers with sinuses, I feel like that is so unnecessary.
Really?
I find that things, just take like a little flu blitz or whatever you have to do. There's no need for people to be doing that all
We
day.
had 2 voice notes and people were justifying it and saying it's sinus.
There's no sinus that no medication cannot fix. I don't understand. I have sinus issues, trust me. I had to go to the doctor last week.
But you don't do?
No, but also I'm a nose bleeder. So I know little things like that will just irritate my nose.
Yeah.
But guys, there's medication for that.
So there's no need for that. There goes our excuses. Karabo, anything else that other people do? that you don't like?
So when Jonathan was giving me a brief of this talk,
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, for example, you always take my pen to write your notes. So I always forget my pen at my desk. So every time I rush to the studio, I grab anybody's, one of the producers' desk. Clearly, Jonathan doesn't like it.
Yeah,
That was an example.
he's the fine one to talk, Mr. Elton John, everywhere singing, bursting out a tune wherever you go. Jono would be singing in the office. I mean, today I was just mentioning some guy's name, and he started belting the song from the guy's name. Daniel. He's the fine one to talk.
Yeah, so I know, never touch Jonathan's pen. Clearly, he doesn't like it.
Fantastic. And keep those text messages coming through on 0727021702. 10 to 4.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Have you ever been interested in knowing how much our dilapidated roads cost our government? Well, the legal costs in Gauteng at least, they came to about 69 million rand, 211,677.98 cents. And the department was found liable in 145 cases, mostly for low-end pothole cases. And this was the response that was given by MEC Diale Tlabela. She was explaining, responding to the question that was tabled by the DA, asking how much has been spent due to the bad roads, the potholes, and everything else. And it goes on. It just doesn't end there. Over 43 million rand financial value of all the orders by the department in relation to the injuries caused by unsafe surfaces. And there were out-of-court settlements. Those came to over 86 million rand. Just instead of fixing the roads, they'd rather pay this amount of money. I'm joined now by Everett Duplessis, DA Gauteng Shadow MEC for Roads and Logistics on the line. Everett, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Good afternoon.
Thomas, thank you very much for the opportunity, and good afternoon to you and the listeners.
What prompted the question to start off with?
Well, we know that there's a lot of liabilities happening within the department, and one of the interesting things that came up in one of our discussions at our committee was, money spent, that could have been spent on maintenance and repairs are being spent on legal costs. And we put this question in the House we put it in writing to the MEC, and this was the report that we were given, and this was the answers that we were given, and it's like you said, it's flabbergasting to think that nearly 200 million rand was spent on legal costs.
These figures are very scary. I mean, compared to what could be spent on maintaining and fixing the roads. And these are going to legal costs. And that's just probably a fraction, because if more people knew the processes, the government would have to pay more. What is the attitude of the MEC as regards to all these numbers? Are there any plans underway that they provided to sort these plans out, and mostly to mitigate against paying such high costs legally?
So we know that it is being monitored and that the department is looking at it. I see, we mentioned in our statement that we want access to the litigation reduction plan that was signed in August 2025. So it was now quite recently, but there's a plan in place, and that's sometimes the problem with government is there's a lot of plans, but there's not a lot of fruition. But yeah, we would like to have eyes on that litigation reduction plan. How do they foresee themselves at the end of the day saving money for the ratepayer of this province? And again, like you said, just to quickly mention to you that the money that we've spent now on legal costs could have been used to fix between 120,000 and 250,000 square meters of potholes in this province. So yes, just maintain the roads, give a better driving surface to our motorists, and save yourselves millions in legal costs.
Everett, behind all of this and populism and perhaps politicking and everything else, I'm just interested in what is at the core of all of this. Is it ignorance? Is it unwillingness? Is it being nonchalant about issues? Because costs could be saved. In your view, why are we paying so much? Is it the I don't care attitude from those who are in authority?
So, in a sense, it's a systemic problem. You know that if we take from where the department has come, that we all know at this point in time that nationally costs are being cut and that provinces are being given less and less money. So no, I don't think that it is really just a non-care attitude. It is how the money are utilized, how money is spent, how budgets are drawn up, how money is again coming back to the utilized part. Rather using it in certain sectors where we know that we've got higher turnovers, especially when it comes to court cases, especially when it comes to the maintenance of your day-to-day roads where you've got heavy traffic. Rather, have your plans in place to do that. But what we find is that, especially that on the budgeting side, monies are not allocated to where we think it could be used better, as well as the planning phase where I think we could really sharpen our pencils and make put together something that would be more fitting to the residents of Gauteng.
So all in all, before we say goodbye, Everett, the department has spent about almost 200 million rands on legal costs and settlements in the past 5 financial years. There was a story, I think, about a year and a half ago where there was an allegation of collaboration between those who would be litigating against the state and those who would be working for the state, especially in the Attorney General's office or any other legal department, where they'd be in cahoots and agree that the settlements would be there. Have you picked up anything of the sorts? Because the number of settlements are also, out-of-court settlements, are also worrying because they are sitting at over 86 million rand right now.
Okay, so I can definitely tell you that we will be looking into it. In the statement we say we will be following this up with other questions and looking to other aspects of this whole question. But no, at this point in time, we haven't picked it up. But you're 100% correct that there's a number of rumors flying around about litigators being used to gather money for people that are sitting in the departments that make use of especially this kind of avenue to enrich themselves.
Again, quickly before I say goodbye, we have about 20, 30 seconds. How do ordinary Gauteng road users complain? Is there any method to follow, a procedure to come behind as far as complaining about a pothole that might have damaged your vehicle or cost you or created an accident of sorts?
So yes, we've got a Pothole app. We've tested it a couple of times. I don't want to mention the Western Cape. We've got a turnaround time of 24 hours when it comes to pothole fixing. So we've used the app. It doesn't get fixed in as short a time as we would like to. So there is the Pothole app. There is the department that you can contact directly either via phone or email. But yeah, it's the people can give them the information, but it's the time that it takes for these problems to be fixed that is the problem at this point in time.
Everett, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Everett Du Plessis, DA Gauteng Shero MEC for Roads and Logistics, 2 minutes to 4.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
The Patriotic Alliance says it has cleared its Deputy President, KNysna. This is of any wrongdoing following an investigation into his alleged criminal connections. KNysna couldn't quite explain why he was at Mulifa's house. Gayton McKenzie announcing on Facebook that an investigation found that KNysna's story does indeed check out. If you believe that, you might believe that the princess really did kiss a frog that turned into a prince.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Ready to lead and make our world a better place? Regenesis School of Education proudly launches its revolutionary Bachelor of Education program. They don't just develop teachers, they develop conscious leaders equipped with IQ, STEM, AI, and emotional intelligence. Study in the heart of Sandton or online worldwide with a world-class faculty trusted by over 1,000 corporations and 500,000 alumni from 150 countries. Enroll now at regenesis.net/education. Regenesis School of Education, awakening potential.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 In Brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Running a business is tough. You need tools that just work. That's why more South African businesses are switching to Mac. At iStore, we make it easy with 4,000 rands in added value when you switch. That's 3 years extended warranty and remote tech support, leaving you to focus on everything else. Switch to Mac with iStore, your expert partner. T's and C's apply. Mac at iStore. Run smooth as business should.
This is EWN.
Masemola links decision to disband PKTT to Ramaphosa, and NATO warns Russia that it's ready to defend every inch of Allied territory. Good afternoon, I'm Mikey Molapo. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has heard that President Cyril Ramaphosa agreed with suspended Police Minister Senzo Mkunu's position that the Political Killings Task Team be disbanded. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola made the allegations at the inquiry sitting in Pretoria today, saying Mkunu told him the President didn't object to shutting down the unit. The attempt to dissolve the task team sits at the center of allegations of political interference in police work, with claims that Mkunu's move was intended to protect certain criminal syndicates. Masemola says Mkunu claimed Ramaphosa was aware of his bid to dissolve the task team.
At some point during the meeting, the minister stated that he did not understand why we were so adamant that the PKTT must not be disbanded. Then he said that the president is in agreement that the PTT be disbanded.
Masemola says he was surprised to hear that the president supported the dissolution of the unit.
I was quite taken aback by his revelation, since it was the president who, knowing about the effectiveness of the PKTT, had requested the PKTT to deploy to assist with the Pothole cases, murder investigations. Moreover, the president, in our last briefing on the PKTT, was satisfied with the performance.
In KwaZulu-Natal, former Mzimkhulu municipal manager Stanley Skosana will stand trial next month for the murder of slain former ANC Youth League Secretary General Sindiso Magaqa. Skosana was denied bail in the Mzimkhulu Magistrates Court earlier today. He was rearrested by the Political Killings Task Team in July this year. Magaqa was shot execution-style kilometers from his home in July 2017. The state in the case previously argued that it had overwhelming evidence that Skosana was the mastermind behind Magaqa killing. NPA spokesperson Natasha Ramkin-Sunkara.
A bail was denied to Mr. Skosana in the Mzimkhulu Magistrates Court today. In handing down the judgment, the presiding officer found that he did not prove exceptional circumstances to be released on bail, and further the court found that the defense did not show that the release on bail will be in the interest of justice.
Skosana will join his two co-accused when trial resumes in the Pietermaritzburg High Court on October 6th. The Marafo municipality in the west of Joburg says its failure to settle a 1.4 billion rand debt is due to non-payment by residents and businesses. Frustrated residents in the Fochville area took to the streets today over dry taps, demanding that water be restored within 25 hours. The municipality says most of the debt stems from unpaid water bills, which hinders its ability to pay bulk supplier Rand Water. Tanduluhle Ngcobo has more.
Municipal spokesperson Taibo Malocha says residents and businesses
businesses together owe the municipality 6 billion rand.
The municipality loan debt book is about 6 billion, meaning businesses and residents of this municipality owe the municipality 6 billion.
He says of the 6 billion, half of it is owed by mines, which he says have declared a dispute with the municipality over the amount. Molocha says the municipality collects between 5 and 6 million rand monthly from ratepayers for water and is expected to pay 39 million rand to Rand Water. He says engagements are continuing to find a lasting solution to the crisis. Tandul Hlengobo, Eyewitness News.
Basic Education Minister Siviwe Kwagube has warned Operation Dudula members they will face the full might of the law if they disrupt schools. After spending the past couple of weeks blocking foreign nationals from accessing public healthcare facilities, Operation Dudula has now shifted its attention to public schools. Yesterday, the organization visited several schools in Soweto and dropped off memorandums saying they must stop enrolling undocumented foreign pupils. The Gauteng Education Department has explained to the group that it has a constitutional obligation to cater to all children of school-going age, regardless of their documentation or immigration status. Basic Education National Spokesperson Terence Khala.
Minister Kwagube has continued to emphasize that the safety of learners remains a top priority for the 7th administration, reaffirming her department's commitment to ensuring that schools are safe spaces for children, free from abuse, intimidation and disruption.
And NATO has warned Russia to stop an escalatory pattern of airspace violations along its eastern flank. This after the alliance held urgent talks about a jet incursion over Estonia last week. It added that it would continue to respond in the manner, timing and domain of its choosing, and that the alliance's commitment to its collective defense pact remained ironclad. Estonia convened emergency consultations after armed Russian fighter jets violated its airspace for some 12 minutes last Friday. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte.
They condemned Russia's reckless actions, which are escalatory, risk miscalculation and endanger lives. Allies affirmed yet again that our shared commitment to collective defense is unshakable.
Gold's trading at $3,786.33 an ounce. The rand's at 17.27 to the dollar, at 23.34 to the pound, at 20.36 to the euro. Brent crude oil at $66.57 a barrel.
Slow-moving traffic in the Midrand area, N1 South approaching Ellendale due to an earlier accident. Constantia Kloof stationary bus, N1 South just after Bayers Nodia, causing about a 20-minute delay all the way from Rivonia Road. And in Brakpan, we still have bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N17 in both directions. This is between Carnival City and Rondebolt due to roadworks.
In your sport, the Springbok squad for their Rugby Championship test against Argentina is announced. Matt Shearat makes a Wales coaching return. And Orlando Pirates return to Betway Premiership action against Suwelele. A look at your weather. Partly cloudy Heritage Day in store for Gauteng tomorrow with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Joburg will drop to overnight lows of 13 degrees and peak at highs of 28. Pretoria is at 14 and 29. Vereeniging's at 13, reaching highs of 27 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has heard that President Cyril Ramaphosa agreed with suspended Police Minister Sinzim Mkunu's position that the Political Killings Task Team be disbanded.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 4 o'clock, Tabo in for John. Thanks for joining us here on 702. Great having you with us. And this is the home of great debates. Feel free to raise any other issue and we will give you space to do so. And in the previous hour, we had a chat about what was happening in the far west where the Falkville residents were demanding water and they've given the mayor a moratorium of sorts, a memorandum, I should say, and a time frame that was accompanying that memorandum. And also, very importantly, we touched on how Gauteng government faces 988 cases and almost 200 million rand that was wasted on pothole lawsuits because residents came up and litigated against the province. In some instances, we had out-of-court settlements, and in some cases, we understand that the government lost out and had to pay this hefty fee simply because the roads were not fixed timeously and appropriately. We had a chat with Everett Duplessis, who's an MPL of the DA and also the DA Gauteng Shadow MEC for Roads and Logistics after submitting those questions, and the responses came from the MEC about the money. And in a short while, we'll look at the 30 million rand land expropriated for 0 rand. The city of Ekurhuleni says that the poor need houses, therefore they need to expropriate land for almost nothing. This case is underway, and I suspect it's going to set some precedent, or if not, guidelines of sorts as far as resolving these very controversial issues of land expropriation. We do note that legislation was improved not too long ago about expropriation of land. So in this instance, we watch with the bated breath as to what the outcomes, the final outcomes will be. Because on one hand, there's a private owner who says, give me 30 million rands and I'll leave the land to you and I'll yield it to you. And the government says, no, it's worth 23 million rand. 10 minutes after 4 o'clock, let's go straight to your voice notes.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good afternoon, Tabo. Alex from Pretoria here. There's a place in Limpopo, it's called Waterfalls, just 20 kilometers from Makado. What I can tell you is December is approaching, and once we hit around the 10th, 15th of December, the water mafia takes over. There will be no water until almost New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, so that people can actually buy water from the tankers.
Hey, that's true, man. I'm also an avid, singer, and it annoys various people around me, but fun fact about singing, do you know that singing helps deal with sad feelings? It helps deal with trauma. It helps deal with unfelt feelings. It's very interesting, and it helps people heal. Thanks. Shout out.
I just listened to this news about Jimmy Kimmel being reinstated. 702 has become so one-sided. Because it's all about, you don't even speak about that his ratings have dropped 47%, that advertisers were wanting to drop. Yes, there's a argument about the FCC and what Trump said, but nobody forced them to do it. Literally, they're backing a losing horse, but yet 702 decides they're gonna, let's take the stance of that. It's very obvious how you guys operate, and it's a little depressing.
Well, it's not that obvious, and you're referring to the story of Jimmy Kimmel, and that's why we have your views on, because if it was obvious, no one had you before, we could have decided not to play your voice note. So we encourage debate, and hence we played your voice note, because we want diversity of views. Just to add one or two things to that, I don't think that the ratings have anything to do with us playing the story. It's got everything to do with the fundamentals of our freedoms everywhere else in the world. Freedom of speech. If you want to fire Jimmy Kimmel for non-performance, low ratings, advertisers are pulling their money, say that and just say stay at home. But for him, having expressed a view on a national issue that has affected not even America on its own, but an international field complete, I suppose the real matter, the fundamental issue here is protection of freedom of speech. Whether we like it or not, whether we like Jimmy Kimmel or not. I'm not his biggest fan. Yes, I watch one of his 2 shows or so. But, I don't have a skin in the game except for the fact that I am a freedom-loving individual who has a responsibility to speak out. Fire him for non-performance. I don't care. But say so. Say because he's not performing, he's dull as wood, and he doesn't bring in clients and listeners and viewers, that's okay. But freedom of speech, I think all of us should be on the same side for that one. 14 after 4.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, prepared to perform whatever the terrain. How do the roads look, Arabo?
Well, I've got some good news in the Midrand area. That accident seen on the N1 South near Allendale has been moved out of the way. This is off the highway, so traffic should be back to normal shortly. However, still in Midrand, there's slow-moving traffic. This is on Allendale Road between Old Pretoria Road and Mastiff. Sunning Hill, traffic sluggish on Witkoppen Road between Rivonia Road and Maxwell, while in Constantia Kloof, we still have that stationary bus on the M1 southbound. This is after Bayers Nodia, causing about a 30-minute delay all the way from Rivonia Road to Brakpan. Bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N17 in both directions between Carnival City and Rondebolt due to ongoing roadworks. In Edenville, traffic remains heavily backed up. This is on the R24 westbound heading into Bedford View between Edenville Road and the Gilulis interchange, and in Protea Glen there's traffic pressure N12 west between the R554 Abu Bakr Drive and the R558. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Weekdays on the highway, weekends on the trail, in rain, on tar, or halfway up a gravel pass. With the new Bridgestone Jeweler All-Terrain AT002, you don't have to choose. Bridgestone, prepared to perform whatever the terrain.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates That Care this Wednesday at 10 to 9, featuring Hollywood Bets. Their brands and communications manager, Devin Heffer, will be in conversation with Bongani Bingwa. Join us every Wednesday as we highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and make a difference together.
You've reached in his Renault Duster en route to Dullstrom. This journey is taking to try a sport far more boring than its name might suggest. Fly. Fishing. He'll be in his Renault Duster, which he bought with 40,000 Rand trade-in assistance.
Leave it all behind in the new Renault Duster with 40,000 Rand trade-in assistance. Offer exclusive to Renault Financial Services. Product of ABSA. T's and C's apply.
Life can sometimes throw dumb inconveniences your way. Just listen.
My toddler had a meltdown at 11 p.m. because we didn't have any yogurt.
At least baby quart doesn't exist. Yet.
I saved some snacks. Next thing, gone. And it's 9 p.m.
Fire your entire household, Jabu.
I went to shower and there was no soap left.
That's awkward. Don't allow life to inconvenience you. Come around to NJET. We're open 24/7. Quick Shop & Co. At your convenience. NJET. With us, you are number one.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
MultiChoice is under pressure from many directions. On the face of it, it's losing subscribers. What are you looking for from MultiChoice? What are you going to do with it?
What we're going to do is combine these forces with those of Canal Plus to really bring the best of both worlds and the best available content on the planet to African consumers.
Maxime Sidat, the CEO at Canal Plus.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA CIB, banking on local growth with Club Med South Africa to bring the first resort of its kind to the country, opening a new chapter for tourism and supporting growth in the hospitality industry. ABSA is a registered FSP. Your story matters.
South Africa, let's grow a greener future. Deputy Minister Bernice Swartz has launched the 1 Million Trees campaign. My tree, my oxygen. Plant yours today. On 24 September, Heritage Day and Arbor Month, every South African is called to help plant 1 million trees in one day. This bold action will fight climate change, restore the environment, and build healthier communities. Pledge a tree at dffe.gov.za or call 086 111 2468. The 1 Million Trees campaign. Grow a legacy together.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
19 minutes after 4 o'clock. Welcome back. Thabo in for John. Happy to have you with us. There has been a story that I've been threatening to deal with, and I think now it's time to do so. Section 25 of the Constitution, as you may know, allows the government to expropriate land in public interest. There's a matter that's brewing right now in Ekurhuleni, in the city of Ekurhuleni. I think it is, to be precise, called Portion 406 of Driefontein Farm, which was expropriated without compensation in about 2019, 2018, I could be wrong. But the important issue that brings us to this right now is a battle that is erupting over the expropriation of this 34-hectare property in the city of Ekurhuleni that was said to be previously expropriated. And the city is saying it's utilizing that piece of land for houses. And Sakelicha, that is opposed to this, said that the real intent is to test the limits of Section 25 of the Constitution, because what is at play is the amount. And the city is arguing that at least, or at most, it ought to be about 23 million rand. And the private entity says, no, this 34-hectare property is at about should be valued at about 30 million rand. Nomzamo Zondo joins us right now, and Nomzamo is Executive Director of Socioeconomic Rights Institute of South Africa, and we often refer to it as SIRI. Nomzamo, thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. I hope you're well.
Good afternoon, Thabo. Thank you so much for having me.
Will this be a litmus test for Section 25?
I don't believe so. Mm-hmm. I think the facts are complicated on their own. There's a question about who's telling the truth. Yeah. Between the municipality, which says the land has been laying fallow for 30 years, that it has been held speculatively, that the owner showed no interest in it, there was no lease, there was nothing, to the Sakelicha, who's claiming that this piece of land was ready to be developed. There'd already been applications put in to develop it, and it would have been worth so many more million. And already at that place, that's where the dispute is. Because when we think about land that could be expropriated for next to nothing, or for nil compensation, we would assume that it is definitely land that's held speculatively, possibly land that the state has invested in. And I think here we don't really know what the real facts are. But fortunately, the old expropriation act, which still applies even today, provides that a court can, if the parties can't agree, the court must then decide what the land is worth.
Yeah, and from the courts, I think we'll get some bit of direction if there are similar cases that are brewing. Is it just a question of money herein, or could it be that the authorities also testing, a local authority in this instance, it's testing its true powers to expropriate?
Firstly, let me just declare my own interest. Yeah. I mean, if they were testing that power, I would be out celebrating. But I suspect that, of course, the public purse matters to them. But also, I think here there's a question about how you balance the interests, right? We have to be fair to whoever owned the property before. The question, for instance, if it was handed over from one family person to the next family person, that they don't have any contribution in it, that they have, as the municipality claimed, left it sitting for 30 years. Then you wonder what their interest in that property is, when it could be housing thousands of people.
No, I'm interjecting there, and I was just edging you on. However, I think the real point is, I mean, balancing public and private interest is always a tricky balance, because on one hand, the private sector often uses this as a stick and not a carrot, that we're creating jobs, and as a result, it will affect the economy. And on one end, the government does have a responsibility to look at rolling out bulk infrastructure and creating a publicly viable environment for ordinary human beings. Are we at a politically sensitive stage as South Africa right now to reconcile the two without necessarily creating an explosion?
I think we're not yet at that point where we can fear. testing things in this way. I think when we look at circumstances like this one, already, in fact, the way the Constitution puts it out is that expropriation has been put there as a tool to resolve long-standing problems, problems of lack of access to land by many poor people, problems of land reform. So already you come with a tool saying that it has a purpose that it must fulfill. So already for someone who receives a notice, the question is why? And the moment the municipality says we want to house 3,500 households on that piece of land, okay, as a responsible South African, I want to understand, okay, I want to be reasonable. What about my interests? How do you balance? I mean, that's why it seems, in fact, the article made the suggestion that actually there was no compensation provided. And at least you were offering to say the municipality saying it's at least 23 million. And so the argument between saying we'll pay nothing for something that is worth even 10 million is quite different to saying we are going to pay 23 million and you're arguing for 30. I think we're actually in a place, I think as a country at this point, 30 years on, we are at least in a stable enough situation when we can actually discuss what does it mean for you to hold land, do nothing with it while thousands are unhoused.
Certainly. Apologies, I have to go, but this is very important. I think it would be amiss not to mention it, even though I'm completely out of time. The municipality flagged that the property was vacant and had been vacant for 30 years. They also said that the property had no improvements and had not been improved for 30 years. And they also said there were no leases and had no leases for 30 years. The property had never been sold at market value. And these are the reasons that they have advanced. In 10 seconds, Nomzam.
So that's all of that is actually reading out a section of the Expropriation Act, which actually says you must look into all of these things. Great. And unfortunately, if all of those things are true, then the balance will then shift towards the municipality.
Nomzamo Zondo, Executive Director at the Socioeconomic Rights Institute of South Africa, known as SIRI, 26 after 4.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
Police have fired rubber bullets at Kokosi protesting residents on Johannesburg's West Rand who have blocked the N12 highway. Scores of people are marching this morning calling for water that has been off for more than a month to be restored. The water cuts are due to the Mirafong Municipality's 1.4 billion rand debt to Rand Water.
Frustrated residents have now moved from Kokosi Township and are on the N12 where they have blocked the highway. Police fired tear gas and rubber bullets at the protesters, causing traffic delays this morning.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
For over a decade, Aluma Capital has had one simple mission: to help you secure a financial future you deserve. Over the past 10 years, they've empowered thousands of clients with personalized strategies, expert advice, and impressive returns of up to 13.2%. Whether it's growing wealth, securing retirement, or planning for the unexpected, Aluma Capital is there every step of the way. Visit aluma.co.za today. Aluma Capital is a licensed FSP and T's and C's apply.
Every day, most of us spend an hour planning, prepping, and stressing over what's for dinner. That's around 29,200 hours of your life spent running from grocery store, the kitchen, to the fridge, to the stove. Why not spend that time running for yourself? Or towards something you love doing, and let You Cook handle dinner. Delivered, prepped, and ready to cook. So choose You Cook and take back some me time. Visit youcook.co.za to find out how.
Naked people never skip leg day. Because naked people spend less time on insurance admin, they've got more time for lunges and Romanian deadlifts. With Naked, you can cover your car, home, and stuff in seconds. And it's all online, so that means no long phone calls. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and start working out, like naked people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
EWN Business.
with the SG of media in South Africa. He's right here, 28 after 4. Stephen Grotes, good afternoon. Lovely to see you, man.
Thabo, yeah, been a while. Good to see you. Good afternoon. So once again, gold price hitting record highs today. And the US President Donald Trump has just started speaking at the United Nations General Assembly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this might be the day we go past $4,000, he says mischievously. But yeah, he is speaking now. He's made various comments. He says during his first term, he created the best economy in the history of the world. He's also been saying that he's had to solve problems the UN has not been able to solve, but that the UN has great potential. Anyway, that's the US president currently on the podium.
Yeah.
The JSE All share, thankfully, not paying that much attention, up 0.75% at 106,764 points. Financials up 0.5%. Industrials down 0.42%. And resources doing what they did yesterday. They're up 2.87% on the day. It's gold and platinum prices, Thabo. And you see that in gold and platinum shares. So Sibanye up nearly 7%, DRD Gold up 6.43%, Volterra, Northam, all of them up by around 5% on the day. Implat's up very strongly as well. You just don't know where gold can really go from here. Remgro issuing a special dividend after their headline earnings per share were up by nearly 40%. That special dividend, you may remember, they sold their stake in British American Tobacco.
Okay.
They want to have a more simplistic, a sort of slightly more simple approach. They're also reporting strong contributions from Mediclinic, from Outsurance and Rainbow Chickens. And then the other one was Heineken. Because Heineken had made a loss, now they've made a profit, despite the fact they tell me this, it can't be true that younger people are drinking less beer. But,
I find it odd.
Well, what else do you... Never mind.
I won't answer that. This is a familiar radio station.
Yes.
But whilst on Remgro, I wanted to ask quickly the new appointment of the new CEO.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure at this point.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, there's a lot going on. Bidvest are down 3%, Bidcora down 2.5%, Premier are down 2.42%, and then Woolies again down today by around 2%. Wall Street's main indices, they were quite muted, so obviously there's been quite a big rally there around tech stocks, and at the same time, they're awaiting sort of the comments from the chair of the US Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, on the economy. I imagine they're keeping half an eye on the United Nations in New York as well. The Dow Jones is now up 0.2%. The Nasdaq is down 0.29%. The S&P 500 is up 0.03% on the day. The gold price really is just extraordinary at the moment. $3,779.89 an ounce. And it's pulling platinum with it. Platinum is up 1,482. That's where it is at the moment. It's up 4% on the day. And then Brent crude, $67.52. The rand to the dollar. The rand's been trending stronger against the dollar over the last few days. 17.26 to the euro, 20.37 to the British pound, 23.34. Stephen Curtis, EWN.
And Steve, I meant the director there, Busisiwe Mavuso, who's been appointed as not CEO, and that's where I threw you off, I suppose. Apologies for that.
Not at all.
But I just wanted to find out the importance of that, because she's a very vocal and assertive woman in this private space.
And she knows her own mind, and she's not ashamed to share it. I think she also perhaps will be looking at what's good for Remgro and its place in corporate South Africa.
Let's speak about gold when you come back. We've run out of time and the importance of that in various economies. Let's chat about that when he comes back, Stephen Grotes. Already late, 28 minutes to 5 o'clock. Mikey Mulap will give us the very latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Apologies we're late, Mikey. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Thabo. Good afternoon. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says the responsibilities of the police minister need to be clearly defined. Masemola argues that suspended police minister Senzo Mchunu had no authority to instruct him to disband the political killings task team. He made these remarks during his testimony at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry sitting in Pretoria this afternoon. Delivering his closing remarks, the top cop emphasized the need for reforms in the police service.
I've been asked about the key reforms that would assist within the police service. Although I intend to make comprehensive submission in this regard, I would like to highlight that the police minister's role needs to be urgently defined, especially in light of there being a minister on leave and the acting minister of police.
The Greater Fochville Water Crisis Committee has given the local municipality 25 hours to restore running water to the community in Johannesburg's West Rand. Merafong Municipality Mayor Nozuko Best met with frustrated residents of Kokosi at the assembly along the N12 highway earlier today. Residents shut businesses, public transport, and only allowed grade 12 learners to attend classes this morning as they demonstrated over water shortages in their community. The water cuts are due to the municipality's 1.4 billion rand debt to Rand Water. The committee's Ramafala Ramatsosa says they are further demanding the resignation of the executive mayor with immediate effect.
Urgent demand for the restoration of water supply and accountable leadership in accordance with National Water Act and water services.
Kokosi residents say they will continue protesting until the mayor addresses the prolonged water crisis that's seen their taps run dry for close to 5 weeks. JC Joubert says they have to use 25-litre buckets to fetch water from the local river, adding that there aren't enough water trucks to supply the entire community.
The water trucks only lately, if the water trucks get there within an hour, 2 hours, the water trucks are empty and there's 300-400 people standing there to get water. So where are we supposed to get water then?
The mayor says her office will try to respond to residents' demands for the immediate restoration of water within the given time frame. A criminologist says more minors are getting involved in gangsterism in the Western Cape because they've not been provided with an alternative. Just last week, a 14-year-old boy was shot multiple times in the head in a suspected gang-related incident in Elsies River. In less than 3 days, police arrested 2 minors for illegal possession of guns in Manenberg and Hanover Park. These are the most recent among numerous incidents involving minors in suspected gang-related activity in the province over the past few months. Carlo Peterson has more.
Criminologist Dr. Simon Howell says minors get involved in gangs as a response to a host of social issues.
Kids join gangs because they want to, in the same way that people want good jobs and want to become or have careers so as that they can earn an income and have a nice life. I mean, that's exactly what gangsterism is offering.
Howell says children join gangs because they look up to gang leaders who have power and money.
Gangsterism is powerful precisely because we have yet to provide a realizable and realistic alternative for young people to actually develop themselves and develop their skill set and have careers and have fruitful lives.
Howell says while policing is important, it's not enough to deter young people from seeing gangsterism as an option. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And in the Western Cape, operations have resumed at Cavendish Square Mall after firefighters extinguished a fire that broke out this afternoon. The mall was evacuated as a precautionary measure after a blaze broke out on the 3rd floor of the parking garage. Fire Services spokesperson Edward Bosch says it's unclear at this stage what caused the fire.
Just before 12 p.m., the City of Cape Town Fire and Rescue Services received the call for a fire on one of the parking levels at Cavendish Mall in Claremont. Upon arrival, crews discovered smoke issuing from the roof of the mall. Law enforcement were requested to assist with evacuating users from the building.
A look at your weather. Partly cloudy Heritage Day in store for Gauteng tomorrow with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Temperatures will drop to overnight lows of 13 and 14 degrees and peak at highs between 27 and 26 degrees.
Constantia crew of stationary bus on the N1 southbound just after Bayers Nodia causing about a 30-minute delay all the way from Rivonia Road. Polshof also expect some delays. This is on Witkoppen Road between Main Road and Stonehaven, and in Boksburg heading towards Brakpan. Roadworks causing about a 30-minute delay on the N17 eastbound between Osborne and Carnival City.
The top story in Eyewitness News. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says the responsibility of the police minister needs to be clearly defined.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Would you, General Masemola, tell the minister I am not going to obey that?
Yeah, no, I will tell him that I won't do it.
You hear that? I do think that some of us are being too simplistic by arguing that, you should have just said no and resigned. That's not really how life works. How many of you have actually ended up implementing things because your bosses were putting pressure on you? So it's very easy for us to sit outside and say, but why didn't he just resign?
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Mzansi, your dreams could take flight when you play Powerball and Powerball Plus this Tuesday for a massive 152 million rand in total estimated jackpots. Play Powerball for an estimated 83 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 69 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store or on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or dial *120*7529 for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Hi. I need balloons.
Sure.
Now, my dog barked. Pretty sure he said party.
Okay.
He was like...
At the Crazy Store, you'll find every excuse to celebrate.
Hi, me again. My houseplant survived another week. Where's your confetti?
And everything you need. Helium, gift wrap, dress up, and more. The Crazy Store. Hey, you never know what you might find. To have a good party.
To celebrate 25 years of helping you live the Premier life, FNB Premier is giving you a chance to win a 14-day European tour experience and other cool monthly prizes. Open any FNB Premier account from September to 31 December 2025. Switch your salary, swipe or tap a minimum of 2,000 Rand per month for 3 months straight. Spend and win with FNB Premier. FNB, help changes everything. TCs and competition rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Tavo, I just want to know why in this day and age, one family can still be owning 30 hectares of land. That is such a huge piece of land. That is really still unfair, and it just shows where the money is still at. It's still with old money, so that is unfair because people need to buy land as well. But if they're selling them off in these huge chunks, that obviously outprices the ordinary man on the street. That is why we can't get our own lands. Thank you.
I know I'm going to be called a socialist and a communist for saying this, but I think you're 100% right. We need to be sensitive to where the country is going. But however, also, business has got a role to play where we live because they create jobs, they stimulate the economy, and they enhance the financial stability of various entities, mine and yours included. And I'm not anti-business in any way, but the point that you're raising is very important, particularly if the land was not in use, if it was not even intended to be used, if it was sitting there idly for so many years, and when the government wants it, then there's a problem. That is something to be looked into, and I'm hoping that it will get straight to the courts where the court can be an arbiter to this very interesting dispute and give us clarity on many of these cases which would ordinarily be there. But thanks for that voice note. Feel free to send more on 072 702 1702.
EWN Sport.
With Tolagele Mganga, what is the latest? Good afternoon, Tolagele.
Afternoon, Tabo. Well, Rassie Erasmus has made 2 personnel changes and 1 positional switch. That's for the penultimate rugby championship match against Argentina on Saturday. Apelele Fassi and Lua Diaga are replaced in the 15 by Eben Etzebeth and Damian Willemse, while Willemse will move to inside centre and form a centre partnership with Kane and Moody. Sasha Feinberg Mgomezulu has been declared fit to face the Pumas, while Andre Esterhuizen will start on the bench.
The squad of 36, everyone knows the plan. Doesn't matter if you play or not play this week, everyone knows the plan. If something happens the night before and someone has to step up, he just steps up into the role. They back every player to just step in and play the same game. Everyone is test match ready, if I can state it in that way. So if you come up on minute 4, minute 60, doesn't really matter. You know your role.
Hugo Bruce has announced his preliminary Bafana Bafana squad for next month's FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Zimbabwe and Rwanda. Patrick Masangwanyi, Evidence Mahopa and Spelelo Stole make a return, with the game scheduled to take place at the Moses Mabhida and Bombela Stadium respectively. And with South Africa 4 points away from a first World Cup appearance since 2010, Zugu Mtunyelwa has discussed what it meant for him to make his national team debut last month.
Every football player's dream is to represent their nation. When the opportunity came that I should represent my nation, I took it with both hands because I know what it means from a boy that's coming from a township to be in a platform where you get an opportunity to represent your nation. It's representing all the boys that are coming from Ekasi, all the boys that are coming from rural areas that don't believe Ukuthi this thing is possible. That's the pride I took into the game and also the nation itself.
Enzo Maresca is hopeful that Cole Palmer will not require surgery on a groin injury which forced him off in the first half of Chelsea's 2-1 Premier League defeat against Manchester United. The England international has been able to start just twice in the league so far this season, and he is expected to miss tonight's third-round Carabao Cup fixture against Lincoln.
He tried Saturday morning, he did the test, it was okay but not 100%. He wants to be there to help teammates to be there in that kind of game, but unfortunately then with 10 players and also it was painful, so we decided to change it, and it's more day by day, week by week, game by game to see how it is and decide what we do.
And Australia's World Cup defence has taken a blow with the news that Grace Harris has been ruled out of the tournament, which begins on the 30th of September. The all-rounder suffered a calf strain in Saturday's third ODI win against India and is replaced by Heather Graham. The Southern Stars will begin the defence of their title against New Zealand on the 1st of October. Tholakele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Garabo, how do the roads look?
Well, at this stage, if you are heading towards Roodepoort, that's driving through Constantia Kloof. There's a stationary bus, N1 South, just after Beyersnodie, causing about a 30-minute delay all the way from Rivonia Road. Poles off, also bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on Witkoppen Road between Main Road and Stonehaven, while in Midrand, there's still slow-moving traffic. N1 North from Allendale all the way to Samrand, while in Ekurhuleni, Boksburg, roadworks, causing more than a 30-minute delay on the N17 eastbound between Osborne and Carnival City. Edenvale, also traffic. There's traffic pressure on the R24 westbound. That's traveling into Bedford View between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis interchange, and in Protea Glen, traffic remains sluggish. R559, that's opposite GOG Gardens. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Explore the wonders of Mpumalanga. Discover the ultimate wildlife experience that brings you closer to nature. Get your adrenaline rush with endless adventure activities. Explore breathtaking 4x4 routes or hike the Blythe River Canyon, the third largest in the world. Unwind with spectacular landscapes and majestic waterfalls. Make Mpumalanga your destination of choice. Mpumalanga, embrace the unknown, live the adventure. This message is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Visit mpumalanga.com for more information.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
011-883-0702, 011-883-0702. Tholakele is in the studio. Hi again, Tholakele. I hope you're good.
I am, Thabo, and you?
You know, we have two possible talkers, and I want to venture out one. We were arguing in the studio just during the break as to which one is not a career-limiting talker that we should avoid by all by all costs, and which isn't. And then I thought I want to ask you this. Have you ever... Maybe let me set it up like this so that there's context. General Mkhwanazi, whom you will know, very famous now. Some ladies are thinking is the best thing that ever happened since ice cream was invented many years ago, but I digress.
Mm-hmm.
The real issue here, he gave his testimony some few days ago. I think he stopped on Friday and whatever else. And people were thinking, oh, very clear, very smart. He had his points. Yes, we needed more evidence, but such a stand-up guy, so good. And then, currently, his boss, Mkhwanazi's boss, General Fani Masemola, the National Police Commissioner, is giving his evidence, and people are thinking, lackluster performance. He shouldn't actually be national commissioner. It should be the other way around. Mkhwanazi should be his boss. So that's the general sentiment. Of course, there'd be exceptions therein. But the question for you, for Karabo here, and for our listeners, whom I will invite to venture their opinions on 0727021702. The question is, have you ever had a useless boss?
That was my reaction.
Wow.
Burning
Wait,
bridges.
not here. Before. I'm saying before. Maybe you were working for an ice cream shop and you were a waitress somewhere else during your university days, and you had a boss who knew very little about food, and people thought, actually, it's Tolegele who should be the manager, not that other guy who's there.
Tabo, the way you roundile Limpopo just to get to Santon. My answer is no. I've never had a useless boss.
What do you think of individuals who are at the top but are not competent?
What a smart way to ask a similar question. I think sometimes don't be afraid to revert to your junior employees for guidance.
Yeah.
The junior employees are not saying they know better, but because they are used to something, they may have ideas which can help you in other settings.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it does happen where because someone is in a position, they're like, I've been here, I've done it all.
Yeah.
But also the more far you remove, for an example, let's say Karabo was a sports reporter and then got into an editorship. And then because she's not on the streets anymore, because she's not making the connections anymore. Yes, when you were in the streets, that's how things have done.
Yeah.
But 5 years later, things have moved
changed.
on. Allow yourself to hear the new ideas and the new planning. And never be someone where we're just like, I hate coming to work.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to have to interact with you. Always be open and teachable because no one is an expert at anything.
Halala, diplomatically put. Well done. And you, Karabo? I'm not trying to get you fired, man.
Well, I worked at a particular retail shop.
Yeah.
It's they sell books.
Yeah.
So I could see my manager is not much of a bookworm or a reader. So he'd ask me as to like suggest books that we should stock up.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe when there's a client who's looking for recommendations.
Yeah.
Be like, where is Karabo? The good thing about it is that, like Tolegele was saying, is that he would ask for advice. He will like say, what do we do in this situation? Which I think it was good leadership. But hey, I hope he's not listening.
Do you intend working there on weekends or something? Why are you worried he's listening? So we're asking you, please send your voice notes. You can remain anonymous or even call us. But do you have a boss that is less competent than you? And what do you make of it? Do you feel that you should become boss? And let us know. We're asking this on the backdrop of the Madlanga Commission, where a lot of people feel that it should be General Mkhwanazi, who's the national commissioner, and not the other way around. Let us know on 072-702-1702. You can remain anonymous and save your job. 9 minutes to 5.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Green Tip of the Week is brought to you by Volvo. It's safe to be brave with the Volvo. Each week we'll highlight someone or something impacting the way we can be greener, cleaner, smarter, healthier, and eco-friendly. And our guest, Carl Bruckner, who's joining us. And Carl is a paint expert. Carl, thanks for joining us. Welcome to 702. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Tom.
I mean, the issue of paint is a very serious one, and especially on the backdrop of the environment, we all need to be eco-friendly. A number of us in our garages have got small amounts of paint left behind. We don't know what to do with it. What can be done to make sure that environmentally we are on the right side of things, Carl?
Things have changed a lot over the last few years, and fortunately, most reputable companies have got products that are zero VOC, so volatile organic compound. The ones in your garage, that is sometimes a little bit more problematic. What we used to do, or what used to happen at most of the big retail paint stores, they used to collect, the paint from clients, and then they would send it to Enviro Waste or one of those companies. The problem is that the legislation has changed quite a lot. So now what happens is, in order for a company like Oracle or EnviroServe to take the products, they must effectively test it It takes 7 days. Then they've got to give you a quote. So it makes it very, very difficult. So my suggestion is twofold. The one thing, most water-based paints, when you leave the can open and you effectively let it evaporate, all the solvent and everything in it is gone. And you can effectively, most of our normal landfills would take that because there's nothing except the metal content in it that effectively is unsafe. The solvent-based products are a little bit more difficult. And there is, in Joburg, for example, EnviroServe have got a landfill site where they take it. It's unfortunately on the eastern side of Joburg, and one can actually take it there to collect it. For the rest of it, it is a problem. Fortunately, we're moving away from all these solvent-based enamels and so, but short term, it's unfortunately, there's no easy cure. The two biggest companies that can deal with it for you is Oricol and EnviroServe.
And if it's just there at home and it's just leftover paint and I don't see the need to use it again, I mean, do I sell it? What do I do with it?
Okay, so now that is actually a fantastic question. Now, the thing is, in South Africa, there are always people that can actually use those products. And what we found and what we do is we like to connect people that can effectively recycle it. You always have nurseries, in some disadvantaged community that want to paint some playground equipment. They need to paint doors. So there's always somebody that can actually do that. So what my suggestion is to come into contact with, one of the agencies in the area that actually deal with maybe some church or just, the local support group. And there's always somebody that can actually use it. Because once you've used the product, the only thing that remains is the plastic or the metal that we all know how to dispose of that safely.
Does time matter as to how long it's been lying in my garage for? Does that come into play at all?
Well, there's two things. When you store paint, just as a precaution, it's always good to store paint upside down. So you close the can, store it upside down, because then no fresh air goes in to actually make it go off. Water-based paint are the ones that actually go off, that give you that foul smell. And those are the ones that you can actually just leave the can open and let it dry out. The solvent-based paint, normally what happens, it forms a skin on the surface. And all you have to do is you can cut the skin away, and underneath it you would have paint that you could actually reuse again.
Oh, so...
But it's normally...
Sorry, go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, so what happens is that, and the skin forms because you haven't stored it upside down. Because once you store it upside down as well, if a skin would form, it would be on the bottom side, and it won't affect the reusability thereof.
That is such a great tip. Goodness me, I didn't know that at all. But also, I mean, leftover paint can do other things. Perhaps you've got an old bench that is just lying at the back and you don't have any use for it. There are different ways of making use of it yourself, right?
I tell you, if you on your friend group, you put a WhatsApp out there and say, I've got 2 liters of red and 1 of blue, who's got any use on it? I promise you. And the thing is, because all of us, remember, you're laughing, all of us actually want to make a difference. And I mean, it will make you feel good if your friends say, yeah, I actually do need it. I'll take it off you.
Yeah. And how important as well, because we're speaking about the environment and being eco-friendly, also to make sure that we don't just dump it anywhere, Carl. And I mean, ignorant people like myself would think, okay, it's got no use anymore. Let me just put it in the junk truck and let them take it away.
Yeah, so the thing is that with the solvent-based products, and remember, you don't know how old those cans are. Some of our historical cans even had lead in it. And we all know how toxic lead leaching could be, if it actually leaches into the ground or at a landfill site. It actually, it's a poison. So it's very, very important to dispose of it responsibly. And the thing is that if you want, you can be 3 or 4 friends clubbed together, even rent a bakkie, let them take it to that, it's called Holfontein landfill site, HOL. And, they would take those cans. But please don't dispose of it, just, make it somebody else's problem. Because when those things just go to a landfill site, it just leaches into the earth. And I mean, we all know, those of us that have got boreholes and all the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, the toxins and stuff that we get in the boreholes is because of people that effectively haven't looked after the environment.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we get it safe.
Certainly. I love talking to you, Carl. Really appreciate it. You gave us some serious insights there. I hope we'll chat again in the future. All the best to you.
Good day.
Carl Bruckner, paint expert. Remember, when you had to wait for dial-up to connect, technology moves on. So why are people still driving cars like it's 1999? Volvo's plug-in hybrids are the upgrade you've been waiting for. You don't need diesel power. You just need a second electric motor. Just like you updated from dial-up to fiber, you can upgrade your drive with electric for the city and fuel for the open road. Don't be the last one to catch up. You are late for your test drive. It's safe to be brave with Volvo. Green Tip of the Week was brought to you by Volvo. It's safe to be brave with Volvo. Tune in again next week, Tuesday, for another Green Tip of the Week.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
The Patriotic Alliance says it has cleared its Deputy President, KNysna. This is of any wrongdoing following an investigation into his alleged criminal connections. Kunene couldn't quite explain why he was at Mulifa's house. Gayton McCain's announcing on Facebook that an investigation found that Kunene's story does indeed check out. If you believe that, you might believe that the princess really did kiss a frog that turned into a prince.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Traffic is trafficking. Robots aren't AI, but more like an eye roll, and service delivery isn't delivering. But luckily, Take a Lot is. Shop anything from beauty and sport to tech and toys at everyday low prices and get it delivered to your door faster than you can get home, even when you take the back roads. A delivery so quick, the speed thrills. Halala with no limits. Just the open road of happiness before you. Take a Lot, happy delivered.
People are talking, everybody's talking, and they're saying it's time to make insurance great again. They said our low premiums were fake news. Wrong! We're putting customers first. We're gonna drain the insurance swamp. It's full of hidden fees. But when we clean it up, believe me, it's gonna be huge.
This message has absolutely nothing to do with the US government. It's paid for by the King of Insurance, who's making insurance great again. Get a quote now. It'll be the best decision, people are saying, ever. King Price is a licensed FSP. No fake news, just like her insurance.
It's almost time for Sentence Best Kept Secret to be revealed. Step into an exclusive world of style at the Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger VIP sample sale at the Leonardo. Discover limited prices, discover limited pieces, rare samples, and iconic fashion finds you won't get anywhere else. Legacy Lifestyle members are invited to an exclusive first look on Thursday, 25 September, and doors open to the public from Friday, 26 to Sunday, 28 September.
This is EWN.
Masemola repeats claims that senior officials protected Gauteng cartels and 3 West African countries to quit the International Criminal Court. Good afternoon, I'm Maki Mulapo. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola has reiterated his claim that his deputy Shadrack Sibiya and suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu were working hand-in-hand to protect criminal syndicates in Gauteng. Masemola concluded his 2-day testimony at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry in Pretoria today. He testified at length on various issues relating to what he calls the illegal instruction to disband the political killings task team, Sibiya's suspension, and the arrest of 2 alleged underworld figures in Gauteng who he claims have links to Sibiya and Mchunu. Oren Singh has more.
On December 6th last year, police conducted 2 operations arresting alleged underworld figure Katiso Katie Molefi and raiding the home of tenderpreneur Vusimusi Kat Matlala. During the raid on Matlala's premises, they confiscated his phone, which later revealed the intricacies of how far corruption within the criminal justice system allegedly extends. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola claimed Matlala's phone revealed links to his deputy Shadrack Sibiya and Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. He also claims there was a clear motive to disband the task team to protect Matlala and Molefi's alleged criminal empires.
There was no any other motive but to prevent the investigation against the cartels in Gauteng.
Masemola concluded his 2-day testimony this afternoon, with the next witness set to testify on Thursday. Arun Singh, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Meanwhile, in Parliament, the ad hoc committee investigating allegations of police corruption is ready to hear testimony from KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. This follows the conclusion of Mkhwanazi's initial testimony before the Madlanga Commission last week, where he made several submissions about political interference and how some members of Parliament mishandled classified information. The ad hoc committee met today to receive a progress report on its witness consultations and preparations for its hearings, which will start next month. Babalo has more.
The ad hoc committee met to finalize its list of witnesses after concluding consultations with the likes of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi as well as Acting Minister Firoz Kachalia. The committee has also concluded consultations behind closed doors with National Commissioner Fani Masemola, who is currently appearing before the Madlanga Commission in Pretoria. Evidence leader Advocate Norman Arendse says he will be consulting with Mkhwanazi again this week before his appearance in October.
We will then take General Mkhwanazi's evidence over a period of 2 days, also given that the committee has allocated to committee members 30 minutes each to ask questions. That's 7 and 8 October. I think that's a Tuesday and a Wednesday.
He says Mkhwanazi's testimony will be followed by Masemola and Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibia to conclude the police's submissions. Babalo Ndanza, Eyewitness News.
The Mirafone local municipality says it proposed installing 39,000 smart water meters across its jurisdiction to fix the ongoing water crisis, but some residents were against this. Executive Mayor Nozuko Best and officials from the Premier's office met with frustrated Kokosi Township residents protesting over long-standing water cuts. Rand Water slapped the municipality with 40% water cuts over a 1.4 billion rand debt. Has more.
Municipal spokesperson Thabo Moloja says the municipality will encourage residents who cannot afford to pay their bills to apply for the indigent grant. He says this was communicated after some residents refused the installation of the water meters.
Something that some of the communities, when they were engaged through the IDPs, they were not comfortable with that, to say when you put the water meter, it means when the water dries out, you are going to shut it down.
Muloja says one of their biggest hurdles is non-paying businesses. Tandul Ngobo, Eyewitness News.
The Western Cape Department of Social Development says it's making an effort to prevent minors from joining gangs. This follows a spike in incidents involving children and gang-related activity in the province over the past few months. The department says there are a number of reasons why minors are getting involved in gangsterism. Carla Peterson has more.
Head of the Western Cape Department of Social Development, Robert MacDonald, says there's been an increase in recruitment of minors into gangs in the province.
There's been an increase in the recruitment of teenagers and children for shooting and for hiding drugs and other kinds of activities because there is a perception that these children can't be arrested.
MacDonald says the department has a number of programs aimed at preventing children from joining gangs.
This includes school programs with funded NGOs as well as departmental social workers, but also the department runs secure care facilities which are designed to assist children and youth who become involved in risky behavior or starting to get involved in gangs.
MacDonald says the security facilities also offer minors rehabilitation to become role models in their communities. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger have announced they will immediately withdraw from the International Criminal Court, labeling it an instrument of neo-colonialist repression. The three military-led countries issued a joint statement saying they would not recognize the authority of the UN-backed court based in The Hague. The trio said the ICC has proven itself incapable of handling and prosecuting proven war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of genocide and crimes of aggression. The court has not yet responded to the decision by the three countries, all of which with close ties to Russia, whose leader Vladimir Putin has been subject to an ICC arrest warrant. The three states said they wanted to set up indigenous mechanisms for the consolidation of peace and justice. They accused the ICC of targeting less privileged countries, echoing criticism from Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, who previously accused the ICC of holding an anti-African bias. Gold's trading at $3,773 $23.97 an ounce. The rand's at 19.24 to the dollar, at 23.32 to the pound, at 20.34 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $67.73 a barrel.
In Bryanston, bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N1 southbound between Rivonia Road and Malibongwe Drive, while in Boksburg, roadwork still causing about a 30-minute delay on the N12 eastbound between Osborne and Carnival City, and in Irene, expect some delays on Main Road approaching the Napiers.
In your sport, the Springbok squad for their Rugby Championship test against Argentina is announced. Matt Shearat makes a Wales coaching return, and Orlando Pirates return to Betway Premiership action against Suwelele.
Look at your weather. A partly cloudy Heritage Day in store for Gauteng tomorrow with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Joburg will drop to overnight lows of 13 degrees and peak at highs of 28. Pretoria is at 14 and 29. Vereeniging is at 13, reaching highs of 27 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola has reiterated his claim that his deputy Shadrack Sibiya and suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu were working hand in hand to protect criminal syndicates in Gauteng.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
John Perlman is not here. My name is Thabo Sholemashao. I'm in his stead. Great having you with us. You're on 702. It's 9 minutes after 5 o'clock. Great having you with us. Feel free to interact with us on various platforms, especially on the socials. You are most welcome to do so because we've touched on a number of issues which might have sparked your interest, all the way from 3 o'clock when we touched on the mayor of Falkville promising to respond to protesting residents as they demanded water and have given out some time frames. A bit later than that, we had a chat about the government of Gauteng facing 988 cases of pothole lawsuits amounting to about 200 million rand. We've obviously had a green tip of the day with Volvo, and that was it had to do with the leftover paint with Carl Bruckner. It's going to be a bit interesting. We'll be speaking to Oren Singh. You know him very well from EWN. Things that have been coming out from the Madlanga Commission. Goodness gracious me. Crazy stuff. Oren will be ready to tell us all about it. The National Commissioner says the president knew about the disbandment of the PTKK, the Political Killings Task Team, PKTT. It's crazy things. And now he is saying that his deputy, together with the minister, they were aiding and abetting the criminal syndicates. This is really, really interesting stuff. Even though evidence has not come forth as yet, but at least we are getting direction as to where the fire might have been. It's a smoke for now. We haven't identified the fire, but I'm hoping we'll do so in no time at all. Feel free to keep those voice notes coming through on 072 702 1702. 10 after 5.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Tabo, this is Clint. Listen here. You must remember that the top structures are political appointments. Those guys are not career policemen in most cases. In most cases, 99.9% of the time, you'll find that they are political appointments. The guys on the bottom are the soldiers. So Mkwanazi is a soldier, and Fani Masemola is a political appointee.
Thabo, hi, Ralph Johannesburg. Yeah, I recently worked with somebody like that at a dealership. I'm even amazed that the man is alive because he is so lazy that I think breathing is an effort. But yeah, you get those people in your space, and they're legends in their own minds. So yeah, sad that people like that exist, but they do. The environment, we all need to be eco-friendly. Yeah, ne?
Tabo, just stirring the pots. But all I can say is, you know what? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Think I've got a great manager, extremely knowledgeable in other facets of the organization, as much as I'm knowledgeable on other things. And it's fair to say, if I do not understand, I approach him. He will guide me based on the experience he has. And so will he. If there's something he doesn't understand, he will come and ask for guidance coming from a person who's been from the ground up. So it's a balance act. And if ego doesn't play any role in anything, then things will move. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks very much for that. In case you're wondering what is everyone else talking about on those voice notes, we asked, are you better than your boss at work? And are you working for a useless boss? And we asked you to keep it anonymous just to save your job, right? And that's on the backdrop of the Madlanga Commission. A number of people have said that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is far better and he should become National Commissioner and not the other way around. So feel free to keep that conversation going on 072-702-1702. 13 minutes after 5.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Mr. Charlie, how do the roads look?
Well, at this stage, if you're driving through the Midrand area, traffic is a bit sluggish. N1 northbound between the Battery Interchange and New Road. Also in Polshof, expect delays on Witkoppen Road between Main Road and Stonehaven. Bryanston, we still have bumper-to-bumper traffic heading towards Roodepoort. That's the N1 southbound between Rivonia Road and Malibongo Drive. Boksburg Roadworks causing more than a 30-minute delay. That's heading towards Brakpan on the N17 eastbound between Osborne and Carnival City. Still in Ekurhuleni, Edenville, heading towards Bedford View. Traffic pressure on the R24 westbound between Edenville Road and the Kilulis Interchange. Protea Glen, there's slow-moving traffic. R59, rather on the R559 opposite GOG Gardens. And in Irene, expect some delays on Main Road approaching Nelmay Pierce Drive. If you come across any other traffic issues, kindly WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
20 years ago, you were driving with the moving truck to your new home. And 20 years ago, the Outsurance pointsmen were on the roads easing traffic congestion. Whether you are an Outsurance client or not, we've all been getting something out. Show the Outsurance pointsmen some love this month and celebrate this 20th anniversary using hashtag Pointsmen Love. From Johannesburg, Tshwane and Paarl to Stellenbosch, let's celebrate. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Would you, General Masemula, tell the minister I am not going to obey that?
Yeah, no, I will tell him that I won't do it.
You hear that? I do think that some of us are being too simplistic by arguing that, you should have just said no and resigned. That's not really how life works. How many of you have actually ended up implementing things because your bosses were putting pressure on you? So it's very easy for us to sit outside and say, but why didn't he just resign?
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Mzansi, your dreams could take flight when you play Powerball and Powerball Plus this Tuesday for a massive 152 million rand in total estimated jackpots. Play Powerball for an estimated 83 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 69 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is a proud operator of the National Lottery.
Checkers Little Shop is back with 46 new minis. Get one free when you swipe and spend 200 Rand on deals like Jacob's Kroning or Gold Instant Coffee, 200 or 230 grams, any for 149.99 each. And Sir Fruit 100% fruit juice blend, 1.5 litre, any two for 89 Rand. Plus, stand to win a trip to Legoland Dubai. Simply shop and swipe to enter. Valid until Sunday at Checkers. T's and C's apply.
Naked people never skip leg day because naked people spend less time on insurance admin and more time at the gym. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Without any waste of time, because there isn't any, I want to go straight to Oren Singh, EWN reporter, about day 5, which has just concluded of the Madlanga Commission. Oren, hi. Thanks very much for joining us. Welcome again. Straight to, has the testimony today been largely about the factional elements that existed in the top brass of the police as they have been stipulated by Police Commissioner Fani Masemola? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Thabo. I think we're clearly seeing this unfold in the light of Lieutenant General Mkonazi testifying last week over 3 days, and then finally Masemola testifying this week, yesterday and today. We're clearly seeing where the factional divides are within SAPS, which we knew coming into this commission. Can't be said that we didn't know this. It's been reiterated and repeated on air numerous times by our platform, but as well as various media outlets, that this is a factional battle for the heart of SAPS. And when I talk about the heart of SAPS, I use that in the phrase that Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkonazi referred to it, and that being crime intelligence. The heart of SAPS is crime intelligence, whereas majority of the intelligence gathering that fuels investigations in cases in this country is run by crime intelligence. And this is a battle. What we're seeing, Thabo, and it's becoming more and more clear through everyone's testimony, that this is a battle for crime intelligence. We know at current, crime intelligence has been bogged down by a whole bunch of controversy with their head, Dumisani Khumalo, being implicated in a fraud and corruption scandal. But that just plays into this whole game of who's going to head up crime intelligence, because essentially you have the control of crime intelligence, you have control of the crime intelligence /fund, which is what everyone is gunning for.
One side of the faction that you've spoken about, simplistically put, of course, or and there are various nuances to the effect. Shadrach Sibiya and Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who is at abeyance right now for obvious reasons. And then the other side, is it fair to say Masemola and Mkhwanazi would represent the other side of the faction? Just simply put.
Masemola Mkhwanazi and crime intelligence head Dumisani Khumalo.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how the National Police Commissioner came out in praising this political killings task team. And I think it must be said, Thabo, our listeners and South Africans at large are not oblivious to the fact of what could be happening within SAPS. We've been here before, Richard Mdluli, Ria Piecha's days, and it's playing out yet again. And we need to remember that I, for one, was a reporter in KwaZulu-Natal prior 2018 up until 2023, where the political killings task team didn't have much success. I reported on much of their cases back down. They didn't have much success. We would see mayors being arrested in Newcastle and Dundee and being released on apparently trumped-up charges. But it's only up until within the last year, Thabo, that we've seen them pushing. Coincidentally enough, today, the political killings task team secured another conviction for the murder of a councillor. So the question must be asked, why all of a sudden are they working on overdrive? Why are we all of a sudden seeing so many convictions coming out? Every second day we're seeing SAPS put something on the statement to say that the political killings task team has secured yet another conviction. So why this push and this drive towards the political killings task team when on paper they claim to say that their conviction rate is very good, but we've yet, as journalists in the media, been able to analyze that and actually question that evidence compared to what's been said at the commission.
Police Commissioner Fani Masemola's evidence somehow pointed the president to be belonging to one side of the faction by insinuating, if not clearly asserting, that he knew about the disbandment that was on the cards for this task team. Not only that, but apparently he allegedly okayed it as well.
And it's not to anyone's surprise. I think if anyone's been following the political game that's playing out in the race towards the presidency, essentially the race for presidency, a bit more complicated in the current scheme of things with being in a government of national unity. But I think it was fair enough to say that Fani Masemola suggested that President Cyril Ramaphosa is in the camp of that of Senzo Mchunu. And we know that Ramaphosa appointed Senzo Mchunu as police minister, taking over from Bheki Cele. So he suggests that Senzo Mchunu had relayed this instruction to the president that he was going to be issuing an instruction to disband the political killings task team, and the president accepted that. Whereas Masemola counters that to say that he had met with the president just a month prior to Mchunu's meeting with the president, and the president met with members of the political killings task team, going to the extent of saying, "You guys are doing a good job, keep up the good work." After Masemola and his top management had presented the president with a sort of briefing into what the political killings task team is doing. So it begs the question, does the president act on what Masemola says, or does he act on what Senzo Mchunu is saying?
Yeah.
And which side does he fall on?
We have just literally 50 seconds. I want to attribute most of it to you and your response right now. So I'll just ask this one suitcase question, if you will, Oren. Very quickly, I mean, if that is the case, the establishment of this particular commission, partly, if not majorly, was to establish political interference in the working of the criminal justice system. And if the president gave it a nod, according to Masemola, it would mean that he would have interfered inappropriately and unduly so. That's one. But secondly, does it mean that he would at some point have to be dragged to give his side of the story to the commission?
I think at all costs that's what's going to be avoided. I think the commission have a certain directive which they need to follow, and as much as we want to think that this is an open and fair commission, I beg to differ, and that's my personal opinion, Thabo. But I think the one aspect that makes me think that is that when Masemola or when Mkonazi last week alluded to Richards Bay Minerals having a task team deployed down to them, this private entity in Richards Bay, to investigate murders, and then he recalled certain members from that team because they weren't proving successful, for only Fani Masemola to receive a call from the presidency to instruct him to redeploy those members down there. We didn't hear the commissioners today speak to that. They questioned Masemola on a lot of things, but I think a lot of people wanted to hear, did you get a call from the presidency instructing you to redeploy members down to Richards Bay Minerals? And the commissioners didn't put that to him, which was funny for me.
Oren, bro, we need 20 minutes for this. Goodness me, we've run out of time. Let's chat again real soon. I would have loved 20 minutes chatting to Oren about this. 25 minutes after 5.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Garabo Charlie, what's the latest on our roads?
Pause off. You can still expect heavy delays on Witkoppen Road between Main Road and Stonehaven. Bryanston also bumper traffic heading towards Rudaput. That's the N1 South from Rivonia Road all the way to Malibongo Drive in Boksburg Roadworks. Still causing about a 30-minute delay traveling towards Brakpan. This is on the N17 eastbound between Osborne and Carnival City. In Edenville, traveling towards Bedfordview, traffic pressure R24 westbound between Edenville Road and the Gilulis interchange. Protea Glen, traffic remains sluggish on the R559, that's opposite GOG Gardens, and in Claremont, Pretoria, slow-moving traffic on Bremer Street between the Dustport Tunnel and the R80 due to an accident scene. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a couple stealing glances at each other. In a week, their lives will change forever as they exchange their I-do's. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a love story on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. EWN Business.
With Stephen Groot as the SG of Broadcasting in South Africa. Steve, what's the latest? You've been watching Trump at UNGA, United Nations General Assembly.
Yeah, well, that cheered me up. Good afternoon, Thabo.
So he spoke, your mood.
He's supposed to speak for 15 minutes. He
Yeah.
spoke for an hour. He started by saying the teleprompter didn't work, that he didn't mind the teleprompter not working, that it was operated by the UN, that whoever operated it wasn't big trouble. The UN said, well, the teleprompter was operated by the White House and all of our equipment is working perfectly. It's really all going on.
And for the record, this is in New York.
Yes.
Just so that we get the context right.
Yes.
Of course, there'd be diplomatic issues that it's not really the US, the territory of the United Nations headquarters.
It's not like the time someone gave President Zuma his speech in the wrong order or anything like that. You think I'm making this stuff up.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
he's also saying that the UN didn't give him a call when he ended wars and he's performing so well. He didn't get a call from them.
He says he's doing the work that the UN should be doing. The response from the rest of the General Assembly will be interesting to watch. Now, I suspect, so gold has been hitting, had a record high earlier, really heading to $4,000, it seems to me.
Is it going to get there?
I don't know. We'll talk more about it on the Money Show. But I remember when it got to 3,000, and that wasn't that long ago, by the way, Thabo.
Yeah, just
and we were thinking like, I don't know. It's dragging platinum with it, and that's had quite a positive impact, as you can imagine, on the JSE. The ore share ending the day up 2/3% at 106,693. Financials up 2/3%. Industrials down 2/3%, and then resources up nearly 3% on the day. And it's the companies you would expect. So Valterra up 8% because platinum prices are high. Sabania 7.18. Implats at Northern DRD Gold all doing very well. And Harmony up. Now you might say, why is Harmony up by only 4%? And that's just because, yesterday they led the gold shares. I mean, it's just been extraordinary. So really quite something. The Premier Group down 3.38. Bidvest and Bidcore both down by around 3% as well on the day. And Outsurance down by 2%. Interesting because Remgro issued a special dividend. They own a big chunk of Outsurance. And they said that Outsurance had done very well for them. Yet Outsurance is down on the day. I mean, it's just a coincidence that happened. We'll speak to the CEO at Remgro a little later. And then shareholders in Blue Label Telecoms, they'll now vote on the future of Cell C next month, late October, around about the 20th. Blue Label want to create a structure that'll see Cell C being listed independently. They currently own or sort of control, it's a bit messy, around 70% of Cell C. In the US, well, Trump's been speaking. That's having an impact, I suspect, on markets. But what's also driving markets really in the US at the moment is the sort of claims that is what we're expecting from the chair of the US Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. He's due to speak about the economy. At the moment, the Dow Jones is up 0.42%, the Nasdaq is down 0.34%, and the S&P 500 is down 0.1%. The gold price, $3,774.28. Platinum is $1,485.40. Now, that's up nearly 4.5% on the day, Thabo.
On the day?
On the day for platinum. Now, the two do sort of move together.
Yeah.
It's been explained to me about 17 times, but like cryptocurrencies, another time won't
I'm not
hurt.
going to ask you.
Okay.
I won't ask you because I thought you'll give some clarity, so I'll keep quiet.
Yes. Brent crude, $67.84. And then the Rand just doing very nicely against the dollar through all of this. 17.25 to the euro, 20.34 to the British pound, 23.32. On the Money Show, we'll speak to the CEO of Remgro. We'll talk more about gold prices. I had a bit of an argument with Shell last week because they want to do some deep sea drilling. Tonight we'll have the other side, and I'll have a bit of an argument with them too. So looking forward to that conversation. Stephen Curtis, EWN Business.
I'll be tuned in, and so should you be as well. 29 minutes to 6 o'clock. A little bit late, Mikey. Apologies for that. What's the latest on Eyewitness News headlines?
Thanks, Thabo. Good afternoon. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola claims Police Minister Senzo Mchunu reacted angrily when his instruction to disband the political killings task team was ignored. Testifying at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry in Pretoria today, Masemola focused on Mchunu's controversial bid to shut down the unit. It's alleged Mchunu sought the team's disbandment to protect certain criminal syndicates. This is central to accusations of political interference with the work of the political killings task team. Alpha Ramushana has more.
National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says he met with Police Minister Senzo Mchunu on the 27th of February to discuss his bid to dissolve the political killings task team. He says Mchunu argued that politically motivated killings were prevalent before 1994 and that the existence of the task team adds no value to the police service. Masemola says while he ended up agreeing that the unit would not pursue new case dockets, Mchunu became furious when he was informed that the team had made a breakthrough in another investigation.
It was first in my career to see a minister angry that police have done a good job. And he was angry and it made the meeting end up abruptly.
He maintains that Masemola's instruction for the task team to be disbanded was unlawful. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Public outcry has led to a review of South Africa's parole system. It's the final day of a two-day correctional services summit at the Kokosi Mampuru prison in Tshwane. It's brought together experts, policymakers, practitioners, community representatives, victims of crime and ex-offenders to critically examine the parole system. In one example that's garnered an angry response, a 51-year-old parolee was arrested this year for the rape of a 9-year-old girl in Hanover Park after having served the minimum required portion of a 25-year sentence handed down in 2008 for the rape of a 10-year-old girl. Last year, parolees were linked to 209 murder cases and 330 rape cases, and Correctional Services Minister Pieter Groenewald says they've taken note.
There's also an outcry from the public to say, well, you're putting people on the street and then they commit serious crimes like murder and rape. And that's why we said that we have to overhaul and reform the parole system.
He says plans to reform the system are not new, adding that their goal is clear.
The main reason is that we want to make sure, although you will never be able to make it 100% sure, that when someone is put on parole, that person is in a very good state of rehabilitation and that he or she can be successfully be reintegrated in society. That's our goal and our aim.
And United States President Donald Trump has criticized the functioning of the United Nations, saying it did not offer to help him stop at least 7 unendable wars he's crediting himself for. Trump has been addressing the UN's General Assembly of World Leaders in New York this afternoon for the first time since 2020, rubbishing the leadership of his predecessor, President Joe Biden, and praising himself for making what he says is now the most prosperous country in the world. Trump says instead of the United Nations working towards ending conflict around the world, he's had to take on the job.
No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them.
Trump says the United Nations has failed to live up to its potential and its attempts to broker peace have not been successful.
Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with their mothers and fathers, because millions of people are no longer being killed in endless and unglorious wars. What I care about is not winning prizes, it's saving lives. We saved millions and millions of lives with the 7 wars.
A look at your weather. A partly cloudy Heritage Day in store for Gauteng tomorrow with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Temperatures will drop to overnight lows of 13 and 14 degrees and peak at highs between 26 and 29 degrees.
Polls off. Expect heavy delays on Witkoppen Road between Main and Stonehaven, while in Boksburg, roadwork still causing about a 30-minute delay heading towards Brakpan on the N17 eastbound between Osborne and Carnival City, and in Equestria, Pretoria, bumper-to-bumper traffic on Solomon Mahlangu approaching the N4.
The top story in Eyewitness News. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola claims Police Minister Senzo Mchunu reacted angrily when his instruction to disband the political killings task team was ignored.
702 Afternoons
with Relebohile Maboja, 1 to 3 p.m.
If you're finding yourself in a situation where you're in your midlife years, somewhere above 40, and you are looking at reinventing your career,
it does become a time for reflection. And when we give it due consideration, pivots are less about running from failure and more about running towards meaning. What am I going to do for the rest of my career that's going to give me fulfillment?
At Vaitha Naidu, Africa MD at Jack Hammer Global.
702 Afternoons
with Relebohile Maboja.
Let's walk the talk.
Remember when you had to wait for dial-up to connect? Technology moves on, so why are people still driving cars like it's 1999? Volvo's plug-in hybrids are the upgrade you've been waiting for. You don't need a diesel power, you just need a second electric motor. Just like you updated from dial-up to fiber, you can upgrade your drive with electric for the city and fuel for the open road. Don't be the last one to catch up. You are late for your test drive. It's safe to be brave with Volvo.
This is Jade. She'll spend hours comparing almond milk and once made a spreadsheet just for sneakers. But when she found Santam, SA's leading short-term insurer that offers a range of cover options from vehicle to building and home contents, even she didn't overthink it. The kind of freedom Santam gives you takes some getting used to. Speak to your broker. Santam, this is freedom. Santam is an authorized FSP, a licensed non-life insurer and controlling company for its group companies.
Backed by popular demand, legendary jazz icon Kenny G will be performing at the Super Bowl at Sun City on Friday, the 3rd of October. Get ready for an unforgettable night of timeless hits and pure musical magic. Get your tickets from webtickets.co.za. Brought to you by Breakout Events and 702.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hello, Thabo. I just wanted to tell you that 600 million rand annually is a very nice, tidy sum to fight over. So now we've got this very expensive Madlanga commission and all these police acting so innocent. They're all after the 600 million rand annually. That's what crime intelligence gets from the public purse. They think we're stupid.
Hi there, great show. So a couple of years ago, I was working under someone and they had approached me and said, listen, we need to fire your colleague. And this colleague was working quite close to me. And this was behind closed doors and, it was just not working out. Yeah. And one of the things that my mom taught me is that when you lead from within.
Yeah.
It's a posture of the heart. And I will never forget that, because in that moment, in that discussion, I said, you can't do this. It's the end of the year. This person is a mother. How will she take care of her son in the next couple of months over the December period, Yes, it might not be working. Yes, you might not like, the way this person is doing their work. However, just think about her child, and lead from within. And if I was in her position, that's exactly what I would have done, and I would have given her a heads up a long time before then. But yeah, great topic.
Yeah, these are serious issues. I mean, the very last voice note there speaks about the bosses. We asked about the bosses, their efficiency as opposed to yours, and that's on the backdrop of the commission, Madlanga Commission, that is underway. A number of South Africans felt that the person who should become the National Commissioner, or who ought to have been National Commissioner, is Lieutenant General Mkhonazi of the KZN, who's heading the KZN police. And so we asked you, do you feel that you should be the boss wherever you're working? And that was a response to that. But the one prior to that is the one that really got me going. And you were mentioning about a figure of 600 million as coffers of the national intelligence. And everyone is going for it because it's easier to spend the money from the intelligence side. You have the slush funds. You can easily justify not so much how you've used the money because the operations are rather ambiguous and more or less vague, as long as you can point to some operation or the other, and people are vying for that money. It's truly quite sad. I would say, I want to ask you if you still think that the Madlanga Commission was a waste of time, waste of money, and waste of effort. Because even if we do not necessarily have the evidence, we have an inkling of a number of things that have not been going right. Do you still hold the view that this was just a waste of money? Let us know. It's 18 minutes to 6 o'clock.
EWN Sport.
With Tolagele Mganga, who will give us the very latest in the world of sports. What's the latest, Tolagele? Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Thabo. While Orlando Pirates will play their first Betway Premiership match of the month when they host Suwelele tonight, the Buccaneers come into the encounter 8th in the standings, searching for their fourth straight league victory, while they're on a run of 4 consecutive clean sheets across all competitions. Despite all signs pointing to an easy win, Salelo Rasabocha has warned against underestimating a Suwelele side who've picked up just 1 point from their last 6 matches.
I think the mentality has always been to focus on ourselves in preparation for every game. So I think there won't be much of a change in terms of what's going to be done or mental. I think the mental attitude has always been there to treat each game the same, with the same attitude, and give our best in every game.
Rassie Erasmus has restored Damian Dielende and Ibn Etzebeth to the starting 15 for the Springboks Rugby Championship test against Argentina on Saturday. Apelele Fasi's injury means that Damien Willemse switches from inside centre to fullback and is replaced in the number 12 jersey by Dielende.
Fast is injured and he's out for quite some time, and I think we were quite honest about Damien. You know, he was struggling a bit with form, and we thought bringing him closer to the game at 12 where it can just be a little bit more instinctive. It's the honest truth. We thought just bringing him back into it, and then into the game they got an injury and he moves to 15 and he was just as comfortable. So he's done many great things for us. People think he's young, but he's won World Cups and British Irish Lions series.
Team South Africa have arrived back home after competing at the World Athletics Championships, where only the 4x400 meter relay team won a medal. The victory also saw Wade van Niekerk win his first since 2017, and the Olympic gold medalist and record holder admits it's most likely his last time competing in the 400 meters.
I've mentioned that this is most likely my last 400 meter, and I wanted to step down a bit now and focus on the other events. But the guys have really softened my heart, but at the moment I think I'm just going to soak in today and I'll appreciate the bronze medal that we got and regroup for the off-season and then see what happens next season.
And Most Valuable Productions has announced that Javante Davis and Jake Paul's exhibition bout will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds and a winner will be declared. The 14 November bout was moved from Atlanta to Miami last week after MVP pulled out of efforts to get the fight sanctioned in Georgia. The fight is controversial because of the big weight disparity, with Davis a lightweight world champion while Paul has fought most of his career at cruiserweight. Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN is brought to you by Take a Lot. Happy delivered. Garabo, the roads, how do they look?
Well, we still have heavy delays in the Poles area. That's on Witkoppen Road between Main Road and Stonehaven. Bryanston also bumper-to-bumper traffic heading towards Rudeport. That's on the N1 southbound between Rivonia Road and Malibongwe Drive. Boksburg roadwork still causing about a 20-minute delay on the N17 eastbound. That's traveling towards Brakpan between Osborne and Carnival City. Edenvale also traffic pressure R24 westbound. That's heading towards Bedford View between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis interchange, Proteas Lane traffic remains sluggish on the R559 opposite the GOG Gardens, while in the city of Tshwane, Claremont, slow-moving traffic on Bremer Street between the Dashboard Tunnel and the R80 due to an earlier accident. And in Equestria, still in Pretoria, there is a slow-moving traffic on Solomon Mahlangu approaching the N4. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Traffic is trafficking. The robots aren't AI, but more like an eye roll. And service delivery isn't delivering. But luckily, Take a Lot is. Shop anything from beauty and sport to tech and toys at everyday low prices and get it delivered to your door faster than you can get home, even when you take the back roads. A delivery so quick, the speed thrills. Halala with no limits. Just the open road of happiness before you. Take a Lot. Happy delivered.
702 Podcast
on PrimeMediaPlus.com.
Yebo, it's the time of the day, and in front of me, the chef of the show, Kabazela. How are you doing, brother?
I'm so well,
Yeah, how's
so
it
good
going, brother?
So good to be sitting here, chilling, chatting.
I don't speak like that, bruh. I don't speak like that.
Sometimes you find me and you speak like that.
How you doing,
yeah,
man?
no, I'm good.
Yeah. It's that time of the day. During this time, John would be playing a song, but there's usually a backstory to the song. So give it to us.
So, some artists or musicians will come to South Africa maybe once, twice, if you're lucky enough to see them.
Yeah.
Then you get others who will come multiple times.
Yeah.
Because maybe they love the Chisanyama or they love our nice cold beers or whatever it may be. And one of those artists is Bryan Adams.
Oh, yes.
He loves to come to South Africa.
He's been here before, right?
Yeah, he's been here 6 times.
What?
6 times before.
What?
2006, 2010, 2014, 2017, 2023, and again next year, April 2026, he's coming.
The Bryan Adams
him 3
country.
times.
Oh, you've seen it there. And you don't get tired of. Yeah, you are pretending to be a tough guy and you listen to Bryan Adams, bro.
Hey, man.
I'm disappointed,
Kabazela.
Kabazela.
Some
I'm
of the music I
disappointed.
grew up to when I was in my influential years.
Give us a hit or two. What is it, by the way?
Well,
what does
Summer of 69.
Yeah.
Everything I do it
Everything
for you.
I do it for you.
Please
And
forgive
with
me.
Luciano Pavarotti, he's got a beautiful song with Luciano Pavarotti. I think it's Capella Cosa. Yeah.
I mean, and he's done many collabs
Yeah.
with lots and lots of artists. So
Yeah.
he keeps going, and his voice is still as good as it was years and years
Yeah.
ago, which is great. So he's a good performer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what we want to know today is who is that one artist that you just, when they come, you got to see them, no matter how many times. If you could watch them over and over again, you would. And
Goodness
you've got
me.
one.
I've got one. And she's been here a number of times. The great, amazing Erykah Badu. Goodness me, bro. I've seen her every single time. Every single time. She many years ago, I think we were young. A good friend of mine, Tsepang, and I went there with our young girlfriends at the time. And I always get into trouble whenever I mention such stuff. But anyway, it was many years ago.
You're in the dog box tonight when you go home.
So I've seen Erykah Badu every single time that she's been here.
Yeah.
Every single time. I think the very last one was about 2-3 years ago. She was at the Delicious Festival and she blew the lights off and I saw her there again.
And is there one particular song of hers that you just, got to hear it live?
Oh man, I do. And I hope a lot of people will recognize the song. It's not their typical everyday song like Tyrone or everything else. But this song, I love it to bits. This is a favorite. This is my favorite of Erykah Badu's. It's called Another Side, The Other Side of the Game. The Other Side of the Game. Oh man, this song, when she performs it live, you will cry tears. The Other Side of the Game. Erykah Badu. Listen to this, bro. Don't go away. Listen to this.
honest, but it pays the bills. They're gonna do when they come for you. Give me the life that I came to live.
Do I really know my baby? Brother, tell me what to do. I say, I know you got to get your hustle on. So I pray. I understand the game sometimes, and I love you strong. But yes, it does. But I can't stand life without. Now me and baby got this situation. Said brother got this complex occupation. And it ain't that he don't have education, 'cause I was right there at his graduation. Now I ain't saying that this life don't work, but it's me and baby that he hurt. Oh, because I tell him right, he thinks I'm wrong. But I love him strong.
This is Erica Badu, the other side of the game. You're on 7:02, 7 minutes to 6 o'clock. So, round about this time, we play some music and anticipate your reaction. So, Kabazela is sitting in front of me. He says, Brian Adams is coming for the umpteenth time. I want to know from you, which artist has come to South Africa quite often? And every time they come here, you attend the concert, the festival, because you want to hear that song. And what is that one song? What is that one song that when they come over and over again, you go specifically for one song? This is mine. This is mine of Erica Badu. Let us know on 072-702-1702. For you, Kabazela, which song from Brian Adams do you like to hear?
Oh, it would have to be either Please Forgive Me,
yeah,
or Everything I Do.
Oh, man. Is that why you go over and over again? Don't you get tired of it?
Yeah, and I just think he's really good. I mean, I remember the last time I went, it was at the Dome.
Yeah.
With my missus.
Yeah.
And, you know, we walked into the Dome and there were seats lined up.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, okay, we don't have to stand, first of all. But then like 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, he was like, get up off your seats and let's have a good go. So, you know, there you were, it was standing. He's just such a really good performer.
So you'll be going for those two songs. I'd love to hear from you. 072-702-1702. Which artist has come through many times and which song would you like to hear from them? Many would say KNysna, and the song would be for you. He's been here a million times as well, hasn't he? It's 5 minutes to 6 o'clock.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
Helen is bigger than the DA. In the same way that Cyril Ramaphosa was bigger than the ANC at some point. I don't care what color the person is. I really don't. I don't even care how old the person is. If they can do the job, let them do the job. But I think we must also be sober about what the job actually entails. I don't think anybody is going to be able to walk into those council chambers and begin to bark orders. I think that the most successful mayor in Joburg will be the one that is able to manage the dynamics of coalition politics.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
South Africa, let's grow a greener future. Deputy Minister Benny Swartz has launched the 1 Million Trees campaign. My tree, my oxygen. Plant yours today. On 24 September, Heritage Day and Arbor Month, every South African is called to help plant 1 million trees in one day. This bold action will fight climate change, restore the environment, and build healthier communities. Pledge a tree at dffe.gov.za or call 086 111 2468. The 1 Million Trees campaign. Grow a legacy together.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus My Business Assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra presents its Symphonic Jazz Festival. Enjoy iconic South African jazz with full orchestra, big band and rhythm section led by Marcus Wyatt. Featuring a stellar lineup of artists. Linda Auditorium on 24 September, 7:30 p.m. Tickets at Quicket.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
What you gonna do when it comes for you? Sonwabo from Dobsonville. Have a lovely Heritage Day, 702.
Hi, Tabo and Kabazela. For me, it's not an individual, but it's a hip-hop group called The Roots. Their stage presence is incredible. You know, it's absolutely out of this world, you know. And because also their music has a soulful and jazzy touch to it, you know. Their live performance is out of this world. I could watch them over and over again. Yeah, and hopefully someone from DSTV Delicious is listening. Please bring us The Roots next year.
Yeah, but definitely.
2026. Please, DSTV Delicious organizers, bring us The Roots. Mohau for Monday. Thank you.
And never met before until I'm overseas on tour and peep this Ethiopian queen from Philly taking classes abroad. She studying film and photo flash focus record. Says she working on a flick and cut my click through the score. She said she loved my show in Paris at Elysee Montmartre and that I stepped off the stage and took a piece of her heart. We knew from the start that things fall apart, intent to shatter. She like that don't matter when I get home. Get at her through letter phone, whatever. Let's link, let's get together. You think not? Think the thought went home and forgot. Time passed, we back in Philly, now she up in my spot. Telling me the things I'm telling her is making her hot. Started building with her constantly round the clock. Now she in my world like hip hop and keep telling me, yeah.
Oh my goodness, The Roots, Tariq, Questlove, amazing stuff. But Steve, I mean, Brian Adams is coming, Stephen Grotes, and you have some interesting fact about him.
Just what I remember from, because I read Wikipedia, is that in the 80s, I think 85, 86, he was offered the soundtrack to Top Gun, you know, the Top Cruise movie.
Amazing, I know the movie.
Yeah, and he said no, he didn't. He's Canadian. He didn't want to be part of American militarism.
What?
Now think how big that movie was,
It was huge.
A, and B, how young he was when he made that decision. Quite something.
Amazing. Catch that and more between 6 and 8 on The Money Show with Stephen Grotes. It's been nice spending time with you. Have a lovely evening.
And now, The Money Show
with Stephen Grotes, live on 92.7 and 106 FM. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app
and DSTV channel 856.
The Money Show with Stephen Grotes is brought to you by ABSA CIB, banking on local growth with Club Med South Africa to bring the first resort of its kind to the country. Good evening on your pre-Heritage Day Money Show tonight. Remgro says its new strategy of simplicity is paying off, but it's still trading at a massive discount to its intrinsic value.